Hello, and welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favourite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. If this is your very first time watching the show, all you need to know is that we play a game of Dungeons and Dragons that is loosely inspired by Irish mythology and folklore, and far more inspired by the brews we drink at the table while we're playing. If you are new to the concept of Dungeons and Dragons, tabletop roleplay, as I think many of my older relatives were like, so I started watching. Where's the board? It's all kind of sort of verbal storytelling.
We can't afford a board.
We can't afford a board. It's true. It's sort of like camera. A collaborative storytelling where we all sort of make up what we're going to do. These four guys here, they play the heroes of the adventure, and I play everything else. So, for example, if Wes, who plays Arlington, wanted to hit an orc with his axe, he'd be like, I'd like to hit an orc with my axe. We roll for it, and then depending on the dice roll result, it succeeds or fails. And I describe the...
Usually succeeds. I've got these weighty metal dice.
I've got these loaded dice.
They're very heavy, but only on a certain end.
So I'll then describe the consequence of that action, and it's just that. Over and over again. It's way more interesting.
Not selling it.
And if you are a D&D or tabletop roleplay veteran, or if you know anything about Irish mythology and folklore, we are going to balls this up so much.
Royally.
Not helped by the fact that we drink while we do it too.
Some of us drink some pretty tough stuff.
Don't reveal our secret homebrew.
Oh, it's so tough.
Oh, it's Wes's magic stuff.
We do love to learn about the mistakes we're making. If we're
like
consistently making errors that's sort of breaking the game, get in touch with us at rollforhomebrew@gmail.com, or you can follow us on our social channels. That's at HomebrewQuest. Just if there is anything that you're like, hold on a second, you said that this folklore was inspired, or this thing was inspired by this thing, and we're clearly wrong. Like, there were 7 salmon of knowledges, all born of 7 wives and 7 sons. You're like, nope, there was 1, but there was a lot of acorns, or hazelnuts he ate. There's an example of something I got wrong. It's a hazelnut or acorn.
It'd probably be salmons of knowledge, not salmon of knowledges.
Well,
the
plural is Simon.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
It'd
be a Simon of salmons of knowledge.
If we make mistakes, just get in touch. We love to learn, and we love to improve the show. A couple of announcements to start. The music you're listening to is being provided by Syrinscape. So please visit Syrinscape.com. They're kind of adding the soundtrack, the atmosphere, all the kind of cool fantasy noises. They're the software behind it, the hardware, the people behind it.
The hardware's right here, baby.
Our two amazing technomancers and tech crew, either side of myself, Angus and Paul. Angus is running sound, Paul's running all the visuals and all the kind of things that are making us on the internet live right now. Oh. He's like a hamster in a wheel, just keeping the internet going. It's really distressing.
It's just Paul running the wheel and Angus like jabbing him with a cattle prod.
Run fast.
They're a pretty good team.
And the internet's already a giant hamster with a wheel, so it's just another hamster.
It's wheels within wheels
within
wheels.
It's just a big clockwork clock of hamsters.
Another announcement to make.
End of analogy.
Yeah.
Huge thanks to the awesome, incredible, and super sound Dakota Irish for partnering with the show. They are dice makers, dice tray makers, tower makers. They're essentially all the accessories and amazing accoutrement that you use when playing Dungeons & Dragons. They provide such sweet products. So like, it's not your typical Monopoly dice. We're talking like dice color-coded to your characters with cool little things inside. Check them out at dakotairish.com. And we'll be doing a Dakota Irish exclusive dice giveaway after the break to anyone who follows us on Twitch and anyone who subscribes to us on YouTube. So as long as you're doing that, if you're watching like after the fact, not live, just go follow us and subscribe anyway. Because we're doing plenty of fan giveaways using that as our kind of base of who to announce it to. So I'm going to put it all into a big generator, randomly pick someone using the internet, and then using Paul. Yeah. Paul, say a name. And then
say a name, closest wins.
Michael, congratulations. That'll be right after our break. So that just gives me time just to check if anyone's following, or if anyone goes to follow now, you'll be in the draw come the break time. So, before we begin, just a little bit of something to keep in our minds. As famed dungeon master Michael D. Higgins once said, "I love our shared island. Our shared Ireland and its core decency. I love it for its imagination and its celebration of the endless possibilities for our people." So speaking of endless possibilities, now, without further ado, grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair, as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Ooh, it's a thinker.
I want to get in the mindset for the game, but now I just want to play D&D with Michael D. Higgins.
Michael D&D Higgins, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was known for.
I actually just found out today that very early on in his career, in like 1992, the Saw Doctors made a song about Michael D. Higgins called Michael D. Rockin' in the Doll.
No!
So
and it's
stop
brilliant.
watching this. Go
Yeah.
watch that. Come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Oh my god.
And I don't know why they didn't like re-release it.
Yeah, you think it would have been a big money spinner
Yeah.
for the Spin Doctors.
New national anthem. Yeah.
Clearly,
Saw
clearly it's a
Saw
fair weather
Doctors.
name.
Saw Doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spin Doctors did Two Princes.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, that's their
But
thing.
then they spun it so that you didn't. Not as much.
Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia.
Unfazed.
Imagine, if you will, a solitary peak surrounded at its base by a dense, impenetrable tropic jungle. Its vegetation lush, exotic. Around this peak and the hot airs billowing from inside its core, we hear the occasional beating of feathered wings. And should you, as these creatures do, have an aerial view of the landscape, you would notice that this peak resides upon one of two islands, side by side, twinned by a heart-shaped bay between them. These creatures command the sky, and down on the earth, you notice Dragonborn. Their scales, shades that are blending in with the exotic petals and vibrant flora of the jungle. They're hunters, druids, casters, and foragers. Two societies, one of earth and one of the sky, living in perfect harmony across these two sundered islands. For as the connection between these two cultured, feathered flight and tough scale, stretches as far back into the histories of Hibernia as you can remember, as far back as even the oldest elf or mortal being might recall, there exists no being who embodies both flight and scale in one. In fact, most would find it laughable at childish fancy. But that's a story for another time. The tale for today involves four sexy adventurers currently standing a little ways from a serene lake on the side of a mountain near the town of Mikkeller. And Arlington, if you wouldn't mind just recapping, admittedly it's been about a month since we've
been a long
played,
one.
so
Yeah, honestly, that I kind of feel like I could better tell a story about that the Dragonborn and Lizard Folk Island or Feathered Folk Island. But sure, that's
yeah.
find out.
Anyone who knows the world map of Hibernia, that's Inishkree. That's where they are. Yeah.
I never noticed that there's a heart in the thing. Never noticed that. And the heart in the name.
Your job was to study the
Excellent.
map.
Yeah,
You're a
I
navigator.
totally
You're
did
the
that.
one with the map.
I know.
No wonder we haven't gone very far.
It's entirely
That's
our
the
fault.
only reason.
We share that blame equally. Cool. Yeah, so last episode we left the town of Mikkeller. But before that, got ahead of myself, we sought the counsel of the local inventor by name of Goat, who was a small kobold fellow, quite an eccentric guy. We left him with some bits to start fashioning some gear out of, but there will be wasn't that him?
No, it's just he left his bits behind. It's just a funny.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get too bogged down in the minutia, but here we are, neck deep in minutia.
Nerds, am I right?
He's working on some stuff. We went to visit the blacksmith by name of Stiegel Radler, large human man.
You could just say human.
No, that's his son. I left some bits with him, and he is also going to put them together. And then we got some clues to send us in the right direction because we were looking for Bigfoot. We went exploring the wilderness. Tracked a yeti to a clearing with a lake.
Sasquatch.
Sorry,
Just in case anyone's picturing like a frosty like cereal mascot.
I'm from a different generation. I can't.
This is kind of a brown cereal mascot.
Yeah.
We're talking Harry and the Hendersons, not
Yes.
Harry and the Hendersons' Christmas vacation.
We found the yeti. Rian and Huck blew the shit up real quick. And then it turns out that wasn't Bigfoot. Bigfoot was a minotaur that introduced himself to us and was pretty impressed by the smaller folks' explosion,
Yes.
for want of a better word. Wasn't too impressed with myself or Iggy. You impressed him by
Try to
drawing.
like draw a picture.
Yeah, you moved him with your artistic ways.
I did not move him.
Neither did I. because I had to wrestle him through like rotating knives and shit that were there for some reason.
Ask Iggy. I
To
don't
show
know.
him I was
Wasn't
tough.
minutes.
Yeah, no, I mean it worked. That's the thing, it worked. But he didn't. I didn't beat him, but he seemed to like my moxie, and we managed. I think, did we get the essence of the wild? Wasn't that our?
The essence of
Yeah.
the wild. We
Without
earned the
him
respect of the
doing
wild.
anything.
I got the essence.
And captured its essence.
That was
captured
it.
its essence.
Which is which I should have opened with was one of the 3 things we have to get,
Correct.
and now we still need 2.
So we have something from someone who's been there and back.
Yes.
The essence of the wilderness, and we need a barrel-aged stout from a
The god of,
Yeah.
blessed by the
Blessed by
goddess
a
Evandria.
barrel-aged stout blessed by the goddess Evandria.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen this episode. That to-do list is getting
Yeah.
awful short.
All right, side quest. Rian wants a jet ski.
Yeah, I
To
have
show
all
those
those things.
fishermen who watched what, am I right? Filthy fishermen.
Goddamn fisherman.
I have those 3 things we need written down, but I've underlined Bunratty, which was the name of the house where you guys were. I wasn't even. Oh no, I was there. I was outside.
Yeah,
but I
you
just
were
thought it was
doing
a funny
backflips.
name, so I wrote it down. And
Provided by chat, actually, based on what chat we're drinking that day. It was a Bunratty mead, I think.
Ooh, a mead.
so yeah.
Delish. So if anyone's drinking anything interesting or not interesting or whatever you're drinking, if you're watching, let us know. We'll try weave it in.
Yeah.
I occasionally dip into chat just to see what's going. I'm keeping an eye on
Yes.
you.
Because you don't have enough going on.
Wasn't Stiegel Radler? That was the chat name last
I think
week,
it was.
it?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think we
I
back.
usually
he was
went
pretty
drinking, but I
sound.
wasn't. At the
Yes,
time,
yeah.
Because he was pretty sound too.
Yes.
So.
We liked him.
Yeah.
So that's exactly where you are. You are beside the lake we named. I have it written down here.
Oh, I have it as well. It's
Kilcavin
Kilcavin.
Ballykilcavin
Lake. Yeah, also named from. No, it was named at the table.
Yeah.
So you're beside this sort of serene lake. A little bit further away because the Minotaur Bigfoot took you into a clearing he had made to wrestle Arlington.
Okay.
So you're kind of surrounded by trees. Trees that have like a few gore marks in them. A few of them look like they've been kind of shunted a few times. If a Minotaur was to have a personal natural gym, this is just thick branches he's working out on. It is early evening on this overcast, light, drizzling, soft day. And that's where you are currently. But to kick it off, it's been a while since we've played.
Yes.
Just as players and as characters and all that kind of stuff. So before we get into the game proper, I thought we might do something just a little bit fun to help people get into their mindset as characters.
We're gonna go through the entire player's handbook, page by page,
That
Page
sounds like a
2.
great idea.
cover to
Credits.
cover.
Everyone do practice rolls.
So I want you to think on these questions. I'm going to go around in the usual order we do the rounds in, and just give a brief answer. Anything goes. And I'll ask all the questions first, and then when I come back around, just whatever you're thinking. So Arlington, what I'd like you to do is just describe the last time you think Arlington has had a really good laugh.
Oh.
Rian, during dangerous encounters and when you're fighting things, does Rian ever feel fear? Huck, what's something recently that you regret? Either in the game or out of the game or from wherever. And Iggy.
Out of the game.
No, I mean outside of the sessions proper. You could be from before you met.
Mine's
Keelan,
a
we
very
need-
deep,
You
I
just
wanna
need
find out
actual
more about
therapy,
Keelan.
Yeah.
live therapy.
All right, I
You're the
feel
most
bad about
positive.
killing that guy, right? How did you know?
Please get in here.
It's a sting.
It's a long con.
Iggy, what's something you're trying to improve about yourself, just in general as a
Okay,
character?
is this in the game?
So Arlington, when was the last time you feel you've had a belly laugh?
I think when Arlington was growing up as a young bugbear, he would see people getting quite drunk in the local tavern, and they'd get in fights, but they'd be so drunk they would just windmill and completely miss each other. So it was just it looked like they were intentionally fake fighting, but they were just so unpredictable. So fists would fly past, and no one would actually get hurt in these big drunken brawls, and everyone would just go home happy. And he always found that really entertaining because it was violence without anyone getting hurt.
Nice. It's fucking hilarious. I wish you could describe a monk fight, a monk v monk me and D, and it's one. It's just real bad kung fu.
Jackie Chan outtake style,
Rian.
Has he felt fear on this event? Yes, plenty. Because Rian has been so used to just surviving and getting by that it's not has maybe a bit of a devil may care attitude to his own life on the outside, but at the end of the day is all about his own survival and has nearly died twice. So is incredibly afraid, but incredibly thankful that he's still alive.
Nice. Hook.
Yeah, so Hook has well, he just met Bigfoot, who was really cool, and up until
Regret
then,
not asking his autograph.
it was pretty cool, and he thought Huck was pretty cool. But until before then, Huck always thought Minotaurs were very quick prostitutes. So he's glad to have found out that they're not. Nor Centaurs very cheap prostitutes.
I regret not getting my money out. Alright, fair
Just
enough.
regret not knowing what they were.
Yeah. Iggy, anything you're trying to work on at the moment?
Yeah, I think. I think Iggy is definitely trying to work on what we're doing now. Is quite similar to what she's trying to do back home, as far as solving an evil that is taking over a village. So I think she's very keen to maybe she's never done that before. That's what she's trying to do. So I think she is trying to figure that out. But in a general way, also I think she's probably trying to improve combat situations, like when we seem to be fighting things a lot, and I think she needs to maybe get some sort of weapons that she can use from afar, or find some way to be a bit more helpful in combat than just shouting inspiration.
I mean, that's really helpful.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that that's what Iggy's internally thinking.
Yeah, so she was thinking she was looking for in the town for weapons or something, so that might be something she's thinking.
So the day is yours. Bigfoot sort of walks by you and goes, I'm just gonna take a little dip in that lake, wash off the old sweat I didn't work up. Yeah.
Good one.
I'm just kidding. You were good.
I mean, I'm also rather filthy. I might join you if that's all right.
Okay.
Not in a weird. I don't.
No, come on in. There's nothing weird about taking a dip.
I mean, I wouldn't even know what to. I haven't ever. It's just. Where do we go? Do you have towels?
Into the lake. He's just, the water's lovely. Come on in.
I will just.
We'll
just hang out back here.
I'm just gonna sit over and watch
Don't worry
this.
about us, I suppose.
Everyone can come for a swim. It is one of my favorite things to do. You'll never guess my other favorite thing to do.
Is it fighting?
You did guess it. And you see his long reddish brown hair, which parts either side of his horns just slick back and mats with the fur that runs down his back and chest.
He's being weirdly sexual about this.
I'm gonna start taking my clothes off, but that awkward kind of you're almost catching your legs.
Well, he is
Please don't look at me.
So does,
Yeah, I'm gonna get naked and dive in. I think that's the bugbear way.
nice.
I was gonna say Iggy was gonna be watching because as they get in, but I think that maybe we'll look away.
I mean,
So did you say you're on the
gets
nip?
naked.
Yeah.
Okay.
you're all
Looks.
covered in fur.
Well, perception check. Or
Yeah.
So maybe he's gonna
That's an 8.
Hard to miss though.
Hard to miss.
I was gonna say, yeah, we'll learn a lot by how good the perception check is, and how easy it is to see.
Did you catch that naked bugbear? Didn't see it. You are no longer in charge of scouting.
So you guys have a dip. Bigfoot gets out and kind of shakes himself off like a Minotaur would and goes, well, you know where to find me should you ever want a rematch or lock horns in another way. And goes,
I told you I'm not really interested in.
Are there other ways?
to lock horns? Yeah.
Oh, there are ways.
Okay.
Arrington's looking around at all the destroyed trees. Right?
Maybe some other time.
Well, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you. I hope you got what you needed. It seems like you did.
Yes, thank you.
I have no idea.
Pleasure was all
we did.
I do have one question before we go. You seem quite capable at pulling trees down and winning wrestling matches. You've been pretty jaunty the whole time. Do you ever get frustrated and angry? And how do you...
I will just go.
Sure. A couple of frustrations. But look around, man. And you look out and there's just the Bay of Mikkeller and a stretch of wild tidal loveliness. The serene lake. His little home. Just remember the bigger picture, I suppose. When you get angry, think of a happy place. Mine happens to be here. It's why I live here. And down there too, I'm a little frustrated they cancelled the Lunasa fair this year. I usually like going, and standing in the back they get, I'm a little frustrated as a people of Mikkeller too, I guess. I haven't been down because with what's happening down there, they'd probably blame me.
Why they blamed us?
Yeah, they seem to blame a lot of people.
Maybe they should look to
Ignorant.
themselves.
Fish hook wielding scum.
I wouldn't
I
go
already
that
forgot.
far. I mean,
We're
they're
going,
just people trying to get by.
I'm not talking about all of them, just those boat-dwelling idiots.
we're going to have to deal with these issues at some stage. You've got some demons. We should. That's for another time. Thank you so much for your help. That was useful.
Do you find you struggle with frustrations?
Sometimes I've been known to fly off the handle, and I'm learning to deal with it, but it's proving difficult.
You can't be perfect all the time. Just cut yourself a break. You got heart.
I will certainly try.
Thank you, Bigfoot.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, bye.
Oh, wow,
With one hand.
that is
No handles.
I'm just gonna draw a quick sketch of that as we go for
Arse for pussies. I'm
It's
just
quite
kidding.
fitting for
Okay, guys, let's leave the man to his flexing, I suppose.
And it's kind of late evening. You sort of spent the day, so you make your way back. I presume is that where you're heading? Back down to Mikkeller?
Yeah.
There's all the other directions.
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
three
Opposite
directions.
direction.
You head back down to
Big one,
Mikkeller,
east.
and you get to the town sort of late evening, starting to turn into twilight. How would you like to? What's next on the agenda?
Do we have a direction to go for this stout?
there is
yeah, there was.
there's a
It's-
fountain or some sort of shrine to Avandra,
Yeah.
I
which
think
I
it
don't know
was
if that
on
is
the
the way to
mountain
start.
road. Was it the mountain path?
It was northeast, I think. Yeah,
It's down the mountain path. There's a crossroad where there used to be. There's a ruins of something.
Yeah.
A bar.
If it's late evening, will we get there by middle of the night?
Well, you guys had asked for stuff from the.
I thought it was closer.
You'd left your bits
Yeah,
with the
left your bits
various.
with the
You'd left your bits
blacksmith.
with the lads, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that was it. That's exactly
So
right.
I think
yeah,
we need
grand.
to go to the
when
goat.
when did the lads say they were going to get your bits back?
It's gonna be
End of the day?
yeah.
Then,
By the time we get back, well, we'll check in with them anyway. We don't want to go wandering around.
we're going
the
to say
night.
that now and
The,
then can be trapped with that.
Yeah, the goat was saying that it would take him a couple of days to figure out the kind of ins and outs of this sort of bag of infinite holding that he's trying to craft out of your club
yeah,
holding. So that'll be a couple of days. Did you leave anything else with him? You took his music box.
I wanted to fashion my great axe so I could use it with my shield somehow. I think.
Yes,
But
yeah.
that was
He
with
said by the end of the day
Seagull
he'd be able to attach a chain.
Yes.
Is that what was?
Oh yeah, so you could throw it and then.
There was. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Funny you recorded all these episodes. And I
It
could
was
double
so
check.
that it was so you could detach it easily and use it as a one-handed
Yeah,
thing.
I could
so
swap
you
it
use your
two-handed.
shield.
There was a chain in the hat
Yeah.
that you could pull out, and it would just kind of dangle there. It's
That
not
was
it's
it.
not fancy or anything.
Yeah,
but he can,
it's just so I can
Neither is
switch to like two-handed weapon to one-handed shield without using an action.
Yeah, basically.
Where is the shrine? Do we know? Have we walked past it or the ruin?
Make a general intelligence roll.
Oh, always do great at these.
None of us are good at this. No, we're not an intelligent bunch. Sneaky is all hell.
Speak
but
for yourself. No, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have the strongest intelligence.
No, I don't
Yeah.
because I don't use
So
it. At all.
intelligence
Oh,
Clear
it's
dump
minus
stat.
1. That's a 6.
6.
I'll give it a go.
You could have sworn someone told you where to go.
Yeah,
Someone
I
did tell us
could.
where to go.
Yeah.
No, that's worse. 9.
Yeah. Ugh, where did they tell you to go? Who even was that?
Can I try?
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it, let's go. 19.
Yeah. In fact, you passed it on your way to Mikkeller.
Oh,
Okay,
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I knew that.
yeah.
In the back of your mind.
Yeah, it was along the cliff road.
Oh, it was on the cliff
Oh,
road.
with
That's
the
a
little
mountain pass.
dangly
That's a
thing.
cliff. You know, it's the same thing. Mountains,
Didn't it
cliffs.
have a little doll dangling on it or something? No?
Oh, we didn't actually cross it.
I thought we passed it.
You passed by a shrine to Avandra on your way to Mikkeller, but that's not where they told you to go to this tavern. There was a tavern, an old tavern that was out in the cliff road. You don't remember seeing it, but you also traveled the cliff road at night
Okay, I
and
don't
at
remember any
speed.
of this.
But
Yes.
inspiration for paying attention?
No.
For not paying attention?
There was
Yeah,
a thing.
that was pretty close.
We were given clues. Can I get
Yeah.
inspiration for that?
Yeah. This is
pretty
remedial
close.
D&D. We're not doing the best.
So are we going to
So what are we gonna do?
Steagle?
I think you said a couple of days as well, though.
No, Stiegel will have your axe done by the end
Oh,
of the day.
then yes.
And,
Yeah,
and
so
is
Steagle.
what you call it? Is the goat still open? Like, he just hasn't got our things.
He's not, but he did tell you. No, maybe that was Stiegel. One of them told you that, like, no, Stiegel was like, "When do I close? When you stop knocking." That was
I
it.
loved
He
it.
was
It's
he was
great.
he was less weird than the goat. The goat was harder to pin down. Skittery fellow.
So the goat's closed.
You gotta stop
The goat
using all
is
your
closed
sexual
as far as I can
innuendo.
tell.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Trying to pin down the goat, leaving him bits and lads. You know, it's just
So for
Gotta keep it
brevity's
vague and
sake,
airy.
you pick up your axe, and you return the lumberjack's woodcutter axe
Yes.
that he gave you for just bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs. Bits
Was there anything else you left in with him?
No, that was all I left.
He took a look at your shield. Remember that?
Yeah, he had a look at it
but he
and-
couldn't do anything. It was
no.
super magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit beyond Steagle's capabilities.
So
Yes.
when this thing is one-handed, what's the damage for it? Because it's 1d12 when it's two-handed.
Cool. Let's make it a D10. No, a D8. I'm kidding. I was just.
I'll take.
Yeah.
I was just razzing your berries.
Consider them razzed.
Yeah. Let's make it the same as a longsword.
Which I think is d6.
Nah, D8.
Cool.
A short sword's a d6.
Yeah.
So a long sword would be.
Look,
Sure.
this is an
Yeah.
exact situation where anyone who knows D&D can complain.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I'll tell you what. You look it up. Well, and you two
Oh, it is a d10.
D20. What?
I could easily look it up, but I mean, I gotta leave something for yourself.
I'm glad we were everyone.
I can easily do
well,
my
yeah,
job. but then
Longsword,
you would
longsword
learn it.
d8. Longsword is d8. Short sword's d6. So yeah. This guy.
Yeah, I knew it all along. I just wanted you to work for it. So you're heading out towards the general direction to find this shrine. Is that the?
Do we need to rest first?
Probably.
I definitely. I'm on 1 health.
Oh,
Well,
let's
yeah, you need to rest.
let's
Yeah,
rest
you
you
guys
up.
got jumped by the.
Yeah, we
by
can
the
take a
stuff.
Yeah,
short
I've
rest.
used up I think all of my.
Yeah.
Did you guys not like
inspiration
just kill the thing really immediately? Oh, sorry, that was me.
No, I seem to recall me tanking it by just like standing in front of it while it hit me like 10 fucking times.
Yeah, and by the time I got there to take the hits, you blew it up.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Teamwork, yeah.
Oh yeah, you
yeah.
need to sleep.
Yeah, you are like
Round
torn
one.
to
Oh my
shreds.
God.
Like you're pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like,
does
so we've
anyone
been wandering
heal?
the wilderness, being like, should we take a break? Yes, please, dear God, let's take a break. Like you're carrying your spleen.
I'm fine. How dangerous can a shrine be anyway?
Every time we've gone anywhere remotely like holy or shrine or relic related, there's been some kind of ghost that fucks us up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. yeah.
And we've pillaged it as well. So.
Yeah, we don't
Not-
really show a
not well,
huge
though.
amount of respect.
Yeah. So,
Well, they attacked us first. You can't
we
respect
go-
them afterwards.
so we go
You
back.
disturbed their dust.
To
He
the
did.
bar side. Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's
Trust the
go
dust.
back to the bar sign.
Back to the
Yeah.
bar sign for a little kip.
Yeah.
So you get some food, you get some drinks. You head back to the bar sign. There's actually a gig on.
Oh, yeah?
There's people playing music in the corner.
All right,
In the
well,
classic sort of Hibernian way, they're playing music, but it's like they're not really playing for anyone. They're just sort of in the corner playing instruments to themselves. Song is end. No one really claps, but they're paying attention. It's like really awkward to have a conversation because you should be listening to the musicians, but at the same time you're like, I don't know if they want me to listen. They're just a classic Hibernian band.
There's musicians that don't want people to listen to their.
I'm
They're sitting in the corner.
some grievances
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Irish musicians.
This is
Yeah.
sure the
Ken,
Q&A
tell us
thing
about the
is
fly
exactly
you
what
went
you're
to.
talking about. The Irish rap bands, you're like, no one knows when they're done.
Just as it is in Hibernia. So they're playing away. You know, the people are enjoying it. There's not a lot of people out. It's been a rough couple of weeks in the town. So it's up to you whether you stay up to listen to it or not, or head straight to bed. But either
Given
way,
my state, I head straight to bed.
I'd say I'd go and get a drink and have a listen.
Oh, Huck's definitely having a listen.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
And a
I'll,
jig.
I'll flick through Bigby's big book of books
Nice.
as I listen.
I'd love to hear a
book you're
whole
trying to look
song.
up?
I want to look. I want to see if there's anything to do with.
How to win friends and influence minotaurs.
Turn the respect.
He was doing that just fine.
No, I haven't actually written it down. What's the name of the deity of the that will bless the
Avandra?
Avandra?
Yeah, it's actually the only of our Hibernian pantheon that isn't Irish, just straight out of D&D.
Oh, okay.
Avandra is
Okay.
the goddess
I'm gonna-
of travel and luck, and
I'm gonna see if I can find any books that are to do with like deities or Avandra or anything to do with that.
That's good.
yeah,
Just to know if they exist.
yeah. There's a couple of books on the gods, a couple of like collections of stories where Avandra has been the muse. So anything to do with kind of adventure and courage and heroes and the sort of quest you guys are on. A lot of things to do with that. And then just kind of customs on the, prayer books to Avandra. There's not a lot of prayers to her. You would just know this naturally. Being a creature of the wild. But, questing, playing music, her shrines tend to be taverns. She doesn't have an official place. And what you've come across in your travels here have been sort of directions. Like you've come across a couple of ohm stones which have had kind of trinkets of Avandra tied to them or hanging off them.
Little dolls. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I didn't dream that.
Little dolls.
Yes, just like my dreams, so I wasn't sure.
But there's nothing. Yeah, there's plenty of books on the gods.
Cool. Okay.
What I like about Bigby's Big Book of Books is I need to know no information, just that there's other books out there.
It's like it's really helpful, but not actually that helpful.
Does it then tell you like where in the kingdom?
No, it just tells me
they
that
are?
the books exist, but I know what to look up. It's just
giant index.
it's like a table of contents for the world, but with no details.
If anyone's curious whether or not it can actually contains itself, we did answer that question at one point in time. I think in the
did.
early answer.
I don't think it does.
I think he said no, which
Yeah.
is the logically
It's an unlisted book.
the logically
insane.
problematic part of
Yes.
set
Yeah,
theory.
yeah.
I
Because
just-
For a very specific branch of nerd.
I just really like it because it's alliteration and it's a tiny little book in a large man's hand.
You have one of the publisher editions, which often has omitted mistakes, like not including itself.
Lots of spelling errors,
First
but like
edition.
my intelligence is so low that I don't actually notice it. I'm like,
That's how that word is spelled. Ooh.
Yeah. Brilliant. So you stay up listening to music. Mark a couple of copper, say like 5 copper each, just for the drinks
Cool.
you purchase.
mean-
Sorry, did you pay for bed and board while you're here, or just beds?
I can't remember.
I
That's
think
just,
we
it's a
paid
couple
for
of
probably
copper.
better
we bought some
Before we go
food.
too far down the start, do we have any money? I'm
Yeah,
pretty
we keep forgetting
He
that.
has a bunch of gems.
It's like, let me just make some notes on this paper. And
He has loads of
just
gems.
type my gold on my imaginary character
I
sheet.
keep meaning to go back to the episode where we got money and then see how it was divvied up because I
Oh,
honestly
yeah.
can't remember.
I think
Yeah.
we gave it
And
all.
there
We
is
gave it
concrete
all to
information.
Rian, and I
No, he
don't know
didn't.
if
He
he's-
took some of it, but either way, yeah, he has
I
it.
definitely was taking stuff, but yeah, I just didn't write it down.
I know I have no money.
Rian is as Rian
So I-
does, you know.
I'm not drinking. I'm just hanging out in the bar, and I'm going to sleep in the alleyway again.
I was going to
Okay.
try to convince people to play jacks with me.
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
Sweet. 18.
Nice.
Quite persuasive.
You start what is quite a small but impressive like Jack's round robin
Sweet.
with some of the locals. And what you notice when you're playing with them is that some of them, when they lose, which they often do, I mean,
I'm pretty good at jacks.
yeah. They are like irrationally annoyed, like there's like, just in a fell mood, and to the point where one of them actually just storms out of the tavern straight up, like just. And
Can I-
still had a couple of matches in the round robin left.
Good
Can I try
job.
to cheer them up with rudimentary magic using prestidigitation?
Yeah, they're gone, man.
The jacks coming from behind their ears.
They're like, this one's out of here. It was
But I
a
mean,
small
the other
gnome
ones that-
man, but
Well, they're always angry, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
As I'm like talking.
I'm
to
going
And
no
like
sweet
their
gnomes.
kids are
Just
disappearing and
Just
stuff.
inventing
swear.
whole new racism for homebrew gnomes. Yeah, they're always angry. Everyone knows that.
As I'm drifting off to sleep,
Classically
I'm
jovial
chuckling very self-aware, knowing a Jack's fueled rage as he storms off. Oh.
So you all get a long rest, so you can long rest it up, getting your spells back, your health back, yada yada yada, and you wake up the following morning, early morning, to what is a lovely, like blue skies, fluffy clouds, sun shining in the air where it usually is. The clouds are in the air, the sun's in the sky.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what the weather sphere
Everything's
last
coming
time
up
said.
with us.
It's like waking up. I was like, oh my. Okay, it's still there. Oh god.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah,
When I wake up,
yesterday's
can I
weather sphere.
quickly run and see if I can find us all? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to check that we're all still here.
I thought you said find a saw. I was like, what are you planning on doing first thing in the morning?
I'm a magician's assistant. Yeah,
They don't handle the salt.
yeah. I'm just gonna quickly check at the.
Everyone's.
Is everyone here?
Yeah, everyone's there.
Cool.
No one's poofed. Yes.
Can I hide?
Egg.
Regular egg.
Regular egg.
Very close.
I inspect it like dramatically, like crack it open,
Does it smell like poop?
and I smell it.
Make an investigation check.
Are we all? Do we go into separate rooms or were we sharing rooms?
You
I
were
was,
sharing
I was
with
sharing.
Tubor.
a
Me and
room
Rian
with,
are sharing a room.
I don't see
Two
Huck
board.
sleeping
with
alone.
Hebert, yeah, two board.
Investigation
Well,
is
I am now.
19.
It is like the outside of the egg is your classic sort of peach colored, not your like white shelled eggs in North America. I don't know what's going on with their eggs, man.
Yeah, that's
Sorry
weird.
to
I
tell
don't
them
trust
that's
those
wrong.
eggs.
It's a little speckled. There's actually a little speck on it that like you kind of draw a line between the specks, and it, like if you were to sharpie it, looks like the egg would have a mustache.
Weird.
Yeah, strange.
Weird.
Crack it open because 19's quite high for an investigation check, and the yolk is your skin color.
And what does it smell like?
It doesn't smell like poop. It smells like raw egg.
Okay, Good. Okay. Right.
Does your poop normally smell like raw egg?
Yes, it does.
It sounds like it's a
Yeah.
good thing, but it might be a very bad thing.
It's almost as if you're not really pooping it out, but it's just magically like portaling out of your butthole.
It's been a few. That's so much weirder.
Portaling it.
Can we not?
You've got a Stargate in your arse.
Where are these eggs coming from?
Yeah, that means there's an
Some
egg.
confused
There's an
chicken
egg
is waking
universe.
up.
to the other-
Stargate Aslantis.
We have to get the magic item where he has an iris. Like
Yeah.
closing the iris.
He does have an iris. It's his sphincter.
Oh, no, Stargate's weird.
So I would like to.
Yeah.
Close the sphincter.
No.
I think I'd like to I look at the beads of the goose which I've been wearing ever since this happened,
Yes.
and I'd like to take them off,
Okay.
but I'd like to put them in my pocket.
All right.
It's weird that it's taking you this long to take them off.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 days.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
It's
wouldn't
yeah. I think
figure
it's
it out
only
that
been like
quickly.
3 or 4
okay.
days. Yeah.
Yeah.
After the first day of pooping an egg.
How was I supposed to know it was a necklace? I thought like I had a disease.
Yeah, that's I would have gone to a doctor before removing clothes.
I actually respect the long game here. It's like if I was to give out DA inspiration, which I'm not, but if I was, you'd be a high contender there. I
Okay,
enjoy
great.
just not being like, I know what this does.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
so you start your day. You get some breakfast, typical fare in the bar sign. You're all fed and ready to go.
I'd say as we all have breakfast at the table, and then Rian comes to join us slightly late.
Do you have any money? Because we don't really have a way to pay for this food.
Yes, I have money and I have a way to get more money.
Okay, so we don't have to dine and dash.
No, absolutely not. So, how much is our food?
I believe you. If I remember correctly, I think you paid up front for a couple of days bed and board.
I think we did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And then the only thing you had to pay on top of that was to cover the cost of the chair that you broke against
Yeah.
that guy's back.
Yeah.
Which was only a couple of like.
Well,
couple of
surely he
copper,
costed
couple-
that. Yeah, he covered that. But then he
Yeah.
disappeared, so that's not on us.
Yeah, true. You get what's coming to you. Stop attacking people. Fairness, he antagonized you. So you head out the 10 gates, past the guard you kind of saw on the way in.
I'd like to go into the goat in the morning, if possible. And I would like to say, I'd like to take out the music box that
Yes.
we borrowed from him
which we
on
never
deposit.
used.
Yeah. And I'd like to say, we would like our money back, please.
That wasn't me. This music box is broken.
Sounds like it's working to
Scam
me.
artist.
That's your favorite song.
It is my favorite
yeah.
song, yeah. I
that's
just
what it
love
sounds
it when people fall downstairs.
Every time I open it, it comes out with the screams of everyone I've ever murdered. I don't.
No idea that.
By the gods themselves. So Goat inspects it a little bit, opens it up, it plays his favorite song. He goes, did it come in handy?
Absolutely not.
I mean, why are you giving it back?
I don't think that we'll have any use for it. I thought that maybe it would help us get the respect of the wild. I took an inkling.
Is that why you took it? Sure, I just took it. What, did you
I
take
think it
for
might have
music for
actually.
fun?
It would have helped out a little bit. It might have saved you the grievous injuries you suffered. But
I don't know if the Sasquatch was going to stop because I played, I don't know,
His favorite
his
song.
favorite song, yeah. Which would be Hit Me Yeti One More Time. I don't know.
So he gives you back your deposit. Do you remember how much it was?
I don't, but I will look it up in our previous episode.
Well, he gives you back 10 silver.
10 silver, that was it. I knew it was 10 silver, and then I'd like to
He's lying to
say,
Do you want to make a...
me. Actually, can we make it?
Yeah, you can make an
I
insight check.
actually just have no memory and
Can
haven't done
someone in
anything
chat
wrong.
go to YouTube and check what the truth is and come back to us?
Don't do it, chat. They're on their own. He gives you back 10 copper.
I would also like
Yeah, you're
to
probably better at it.
say, and guys, I have a personal question for the goat. Would you please give us the room?
I'll sort of the goat.
Yeah, you
It's just
give,
goat.
You give me and goat the room.
This doesn't normally happen.
You can say what you want.
No. This is very,
I'm gonna
very personal.
Pick Hook up and put it on my shoulders like,
Come along, little man.
Whee!
We can play some jacks outside. I hear you've been practicing.
Cool. Oh, yes, go ahead. Sure.
What can I do?
I've been having a bit of a problem these past few days, and I've been mulling it over in my head and trying to think to myself, what has happened that made this change in me? You're not going to believe this. But I have been pooping eggs for the past 4 days.
I'm going to assume from your tone this is...
It's unusual. Yes, it's unusual.
Because as kobolds, eggs are where we're born from. But you're...
Do I look like a kobold to you?
Hey, I know there's disguises
Halfling
out there. Alright, okay.
I would like... The only thing that I can think... It happened when we went into a tomb. Initially, I thought I got some sort of airborne disease. Like, I don't know, I inhaled a mushroom accidentally. I don't know, like it was a busy time. But then I thought... We have this sword, which has some properties that a normal sword wouldn't. We have this shield that has properties that a shield wouldn't. And I have this necklace. And I take it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it... I don't know why, but I have a feeling that this has something to do with it. Would you be able to take a look at this?
Absolutely. When do you need to know its properties inside and out and otherwise and...
Immediately. Well, as soon as possible.
Sure. Yeah, I've never come across anything that causes someone to lay eggs. And
I
does it
don't
happen...
necessarily know that I'm laying them. Is there a difference between shitting and laying?
Well, they're very
Do
close, but they're not
They're
quite.
very close. As in, normally when I use the restroom, do I lay poo?
That brings up more questions. I mean,
Whatever
It
you
really does. We could be here all day.
and he takes them off you and goes, for the pure curiosity of it, if you come back, I should have this done in... To be honest, it will only take me about 15 minutes, but I've things to be doing.
As do I. I'll leave it with you. I'll see you later on today.
And the bag I'm working on at the moment, I should have that ready tomorrow morning.
Perfect. That works for me.
Have a great
Goodbye.
day.
So, I was trying to do a cool American thing where you don't say goodbye when you hang up. You know, it's just like, all right, yeah, you do that.
We instantly cut to outside. We don't know if they said goodbye or not.
Arlington, I'm playing
Yeah,
you
we're just playing jacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know you've been practicing, and I saw some fairly sore people leaving last night, so I know you've improved.
I got an 18. I don't know what my Jack's bonus is, but it's 18,
Dex.
18 on dice. Oh,
I do dex.
You're pretty dexy, aren't you?
Dex
It's a natural one.
Oh!
21. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Prestidigitate some flashes. And
I'm gonna just whisper. Are you letting him
Brand
win?
Dex is a 3, but I mean, it's a natural one. So I just like accidentally fucked the dice down the road.
You get a Jack's cut.
Just tell him if you don't want to play.
Take 3 damage.
Well, let's go again. I don't know how long Rian's going to be in there, and I suppose you...
Best 2 out of 3?
Yes.
2 out of 3.
Yeah.
3. Oh,
It's a
14.
an unnatural 20.
14. Damn it.
Ah, you see? I just need to get the hang of it. It's my larger hands and the small jacks. Last one. This one takes the crown.
Oh, no.
Unnatural 21.
Well,
Mate, you're letting him win.
I know. Yeah.
What did you get?
Like 12.
So just as you go to pick up some jacks, Rian walks outside, which is a little bit distracting.
Yeah. He kicks all the Jacks.
Yeah,
We're playing right in front of the door.
Yeah. Billowing.
Silly children.
Out of my way, nerds!
and you carve your way towards the front, the gate of Mikkeller where you came in, passing by the guard who you met on your way here, and just in general as you're traveling along the this cliff road. This is the first time you guys have seen it properly in the light of day, like a stretch of it that you're about to travel. I need just a general marching order.
Right up front.
Okay.
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
From at back. I think,
Okay.
right?
Middle.
Okay. And of the 2 people in the middle,
Closer to Arlington.
go.
Okay.
That
The
goes
other
Arlington,
part
Rian,
Close to
Iggy,
Yeah.
Iggy, Hook.
I think you've been trying to get away from Hook. No, you go back there. You go back there.
It's not my day.
No, Rian just answered so quickly. I thought, I should have been thinking about this more. You know.
No, that's fine. It was just to... I need one of you to make a survival check and one of you to make a perception check. It's basically...
I think I'll go survival.
Cool.
Perception, I'm +2. Anyone?
And +3.
Yep, go for it.
Not you guys. You're at the
Oh,
back.
Yeah, we're at the
So
back.
the two at the
I'm in
front.
the middle.
Or the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
we're-
sorry.
we're
They're-
middle
Front of the
two at
back.
front,
Back.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Forgot they're both
He
wisdom,
did
so it
that,
doesn't really
yeah.
matter to me. That's 10 for survival.
Okay.
I'm gonna play.
17 for perception.
Cool. So as you travel further from the town and into the marshes, the all too familiar smell of like bursting bog gas fills the air.
Excuse me.
There's features you missed as you legged it towards Mikkeller. The first time you see tufts. Rian, you specifically are pointing these out as you're walking, kind of keeping an eye out for any sort of unusual structures in the bog itself, because you know it's pretty clear to you that this shrine wasn't on the road. You would have seen it. So it must be somewhere off to the side. It can't be off to where the cliff is. That's a cliff. So by
Is he explaining this verbatim? Like,
you see,
I'm nodding.
over there because that is a cliff.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, great.
students he taking notes. You're updating the map, Cliff.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Aye, that
Okay.
makes sense. I would not have. I wouldn't have thought that.
I'm glad he's perceiving.
so you see tufts of earth, thick, long grass cover this land before you. You see some wildlife scurry away as you pass. Just sort of, you see like a low scurrying and then just a small head peek over just to see if they're being pursued. And when they're not, they go back down. And as you make your way through, you're at that point where it's not quite the spot where the River Ishka peeled away towards the coast.
Oh, I forgot we called it the River
Called it
Ishka.
Which means that you're not as far as where the Banshee encounter was.
Oh, yeah.
And you're quite far away from where that split with the mountain road and the cliff road was, where the Shrine to Evander was.
Yeah.
And it takes you a little longer than expected to get to this place, given how close it is to the town of Mikkeller. That's a little bit because of the kind of rough terrain you're making your way through. Every once in a while, Arlington just sort of forgets to point out, like, oh, watch out for that. Just his survival in general, he's...
I'd say I'm like not considering how much smaller their legs are, so I'm stepping over things and not
Yeah.
thinking they're worth
That's
mentioning.
not a giant chasm to them. And that's when you notice sort of peculiar structures jutting out from the tufts, not out on the road, but into the boglands themselves.
Hey, guys, do you see that?
Yes.
See
No.
what?
Look. Kind
The
of.
bog.
No, jutting out from the bog.
More of those tiny frogs.
Speaking of, you do see
Oh, I don't like
one of the frogs you recognize, like really far away, but like sneaking up through the rushes, and it's just like,
Okay. How close?
Get away!
I was about to intimidate, and I was like, actually, you should probably leave that to
Yeah.
you.
roll an intimidation check.
Sure.
Definitely
Just
more
for-
scared of you.
It's not a high DC on this. The Lord Apparent Big Easy is easily intimidated.
20.
20?
Not natural 20.
But still,
Wow.
yeah, he's
Nice.
like, I'll get you next time, you fuckers.
And stay back.
Can I mean...
Nice.
How difficult is
Poor
it to
old Lord
hurl,
Apparent got a natural 1 on his like little robbing attempt.
Deer in the headlights.
Can I
Like,
fire a fireball?
So he just, like, ran
not
in
to
a
hit him,
circle.
but like just after him?
yeah, roll an attack roll.
are we surrounded by greenery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bog as well. Definitely flammable.
Oh yeah. We've been hearing about the gas bursts.
21.
21 to
Again,
not
I'm
hit
just
him.
I'm trying not to hit him. Yeah, I'm
How
just trying
close are you trying to get to him?
Pretty close.
Cinches.
So this fireball, you sort of spin it out and fire towards him,
Yeah.
and as it shoots and kind of goes through the air, you don't hit beside him, but beside him explodes.
Sweet.
Because you hit this sort of bursting bog gas that he's beside, and roll damage.
Great.
This started as the equivalent of like dance, boy, dance.
yeah,
But they were
yeah.
dancing on like
So much so
nitroglycerin.
I didn't
Yeah.
even check what my damage was for fireball. 1d10. Easy enough. That's a d10, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
1. Perfect. 1.
Aw,
Half,
how benevolent
which is none.
None. Great.
But you do hear him go.
And stay it.
Okay. So
Once again, the bullywugs are not doing their job.
Huck doesn't like them.
Yeah.
is that what you saw? What do you?
No, the structure, the small structure, and I try to like I try to lead them closer to the structure that I saw.
Thanks
Yes.
for pointing out that bullywug.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I also pointed that out.
Generally, the way you were pointing, it's just like structure, but it's so obvious that he was like,
Came behind that bullywug.
It's a structure. It's a
moves
giant
all the way.
bullywug statue.
So wading through this
There's a lemon behind that bullywug.
soft bog earth and puddles of water as it belches around you, releasing rank smelling pockets of trapped air. There's like a bang of old Guinness farts about the place. And you see the structure you're pointing out was a half-submerged statue of a woman. Glorious wavy hair. It's kept in place by an intricate braid and interwoven with flowers that circle her head like a crown. Sorry, my bullywug was showing. And carved around her shoulders, you see a small fox, nose outstretched, sort of pointing the way into the bog. And as you follow this fox's lead, you see the peak of a rooftop, sort of barely breaking the water's surface.
Ooh.
Is the fox a statue or a real fox?
Statue. It's all statue.
It's all
Okay.
statues.
It's all statue. Statue as far as the eyes can see.
Yeah.
Are
So-
the
which is
statues
immediately
eerily realistic?
So wait,
Yeah, it's pretty realistic.
the roof is in the bog, or the roof is kind of over a hill?
The roof is submerged in the water, as if it's the whole, whatever the structure is just in the bog.
Okay. Guys, could this be the tavern? Pointing at the.
It must be.
It could be. There must be a way to unsubmerge it, or maybe to get down underneath. Perhaps there's a tunnel,
Yeah.
or
Can we
How
look?
good are you at holding your breath?
I'm very good.
Can you swim?
Okay.
Is it a murkier bog?
It's pretty murky.
As in, like, swim hole?
You could try.
Imagine it's gonna be pretty dark and hard to see. I think there's.
I mean, seeing is going to be
I'd
impossible.
say it's more likely there's a way to raise this thing up above.
Could I do an investigation check to see if there's any tunnels that can get us in from underneath? maybe?
Absolutely.
I can help, actually.
Yeah, so if you want to roll with advantage.
Sure.
Um,
Good, because that's a 2. 16.
16. And you're all kind of collectively doing this as you sort of go, okay, that's probably where we're going. That statue's kind of odd. And actually in Big V's Big Book of Books, if there are any sort of illustrative sort of side notes,
Like, sure.
yeah.
It's up to you.
The statue
Footnotes?
does look like the kind of pictures you've seen of Avandra.
Is the issue at hand at the moment getting to the rooftop or getting the rooftop up?
I think that Arlington is right, that there's a way to get the roof up.
On fire.
Can I inspect the statue?
Yeah.
Can I get to
Yeah.
the statue?
I think the statue
Is
the
it
call.
like am I wading in deep water, or is it?
No,
can I
you
walk
guys
on tufts?
are you guys are still sort of like not up to your knees, but
Okay.
where this roof is looks like it's quite deep water. And on your investigation check, you kind of scan the area a little bit, Rian, just to see, okay, if there was an entrance to this place, based on the size of that peak, where it might have been, and you do spot like there are a couple of pools of water, sort of around that just sort of occasional bubble, occasional belch, and it would
Okay.
lead you to believe,
There's air pockets.
yeah,
underneath.
some sort of trapped air is coming out of there.
Or
Okay.
ghosts?
Right, so there's trapped air under there.
So you roll a.
I'm going. Am I close to the statue?
Yeah.
Can I go over to it and like really kind of? I'm quite lovingly going to inspect it because she sounds beautiful.
Are you Molly Maloning the statue?
Yeah.
Really,
I
like,
just yeah.
I just want to.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
gesture
yeah.
was very.
I
good.
did.
yeah.
I
I
did.
expected that all of us.
I did draw nipples, so I already got carried away.
On the statue?
Yeah.
As if with your like
Not
paintbrush.
separately.
There's like no other detail.
It's so cold, Molly. It's so cold.
It's all waves and then just two breasts.
There's a fox and a discernible braid.
Yeah, but the fox has
yeah,
breasts.
roll an
Yeah.
Fox doesn't have
investigation
a
check.
face, but the nipples are almost photorealistic.
How did you draw areola?
Oh, what is it? Investigation?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 10.
She's a
You're just like, you sort of forget as you're inspecting the statue that you're not inspecting it from the position of an art student. that you're seeing it from like
Iggy, come on.
From the position of an old man, an old lecherous dude.
Any secret catches?
I think I need to twist these. Yeah.
I heard
found
if
a
you,
secret
I'm
dial.
alone with the statue.
you can just clear the room.
if you lick the nipples of statues, sometimes.
What about
Why
the
is
fox?
this
What
gotten-
fox? What are you talking about?
But I presume what you were looking for was like a hidden catch or like something to like a button to press, as if there was a.
Oh yeah, I actually also was just like, do I sense something from her? Or
Way specific.
Are we vibing?
yeah, well, it's a shrine, and we're here to get like something blessed for. I'm just interested in her, and if she's like a good
And it
presence.
was a 10.
It was a 10.
Okay.
Oh, she's
So
Yeah.
she swiped left.
Unfortunately, in D&D terms, that's at a 20. So.
it's actually a very bad score.
yeah.
It doesn't look like from a 10 you don't gather much, but you gather that it's not a shrine. It's like a statue in the same way that like a nice house might have a statue
okay.
of a lion.
Okay.
It's just like
Gotcha.
this was probably some aesthetic to the tavern
Okay.
in
yeah.
the sense of just
Do
like,
you-
oh, that's kind of nice.
So I'm gonna just
Do you
lose
think
interest
that-
and kind of like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Do you think nice houses have statues of lions?
a statue of.
Mine does. Does yours not?
Oh, yeah.
Do you not have a nice statue of a lion?
No,
They're always
think-
there at the front.
I think only nice houses don't have statues of lions.
So we saw those pools where there was air bubbles coming in.
Mhm.
Would it be possible to go over to one of those and Iggy or Huck? This might seem
I?
out of the orthodox. Would either of you have any sort of magic that would allow me to breathe underwater, or
I could set you on fire.
I mean that would solve no problems and create
I
lots
could
of them.
reduce you to really small.
Less water
can-
to breathe in, I guess. Just
Less water to breathe in, yeah.
You
I
could
can
move
enhance it.
between the oxygen.
Ant-Man it.
At which
You
point,
might get attacked by bacteria, though.
At which point, I'm going to say, "Okay," and dive in one of the pools.
Okay.
I was gonna say, how far
I
away
was
is
gonna
the
say I
roof?
can enhance ability. If that helps at all. It
Maybe it does.
Yeah.
How
The
far
roof-
away is the roof?
So the roof was about kind of 20 feet or so from the statue. So you're about like you're a good distance from the road. You waded through a lot of bog into this sort of open bogland, and the roof is in this kind of like it is wetter earth, as if it's
Okay.
sunken into a bog lake of sorts. So it's close. Like
Within 60 feet?
yeah.
Cool.
So you dive into
I'm
the
gonna
water.
wait for-
Yeah, where there were bubbles coming up, where it suggested there were air pockets.
Yeah.
Sort of like Sonic in the water levels.
Bum,
Yeah.
bum, 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 bum.
I'd like to go
Most
down and
stressful
see if
time of
there's
my childhood.
a cavern or any sort of like large air pocket under there.
Sure. How you dive in, and it's murky, it's dark. You roll a perception check.
Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of fuck.
You just had a pair of fuck before we left.
I didn't think fucks came in pairs.
That's a 10.
It's the bags, I thought. Bags of fucks.
Like the murkiness.
And I'm all out of them.
The murkiness of the water forces you to close your eyes, so you're sort of just swimming blind, and you're swimming. How far do you want to swim?
Not far. I want to go down maybe 10, 15 feet.
10, 15 feet. So you go down, and within 6 seconds, Reen's back up, and there was more to go down, but you didn't go down.
When you jumped in there, I did remember I could teleport over to the roof, but I can't teleport back. But I could maybe cut a wee hole in the roof.
I have some rope and some pieces that could perhaps, if you were to teleport over.
It's me new spell. I've never given it a go.
Well, historically,
rope.
your spells are very easily controlled and don't
Oh
expel
yeah,
at all.
sure. There should be no problem.
If you were to teleport over holding, I have a long length of rope, and perhaps you could throw it back over to us, and we could form some sort of. Is there anything to tie it over to over there?
I just had to wait for him to jump into the old bog first. No, I don't know.
Are you a good swimmer? We could tie the rope onto you if you want to go down again, and just so we make sure we can always pull you back. You could go quite far and then
I'm a pretty good swimmer, yes.
Would you?
Right,
Well,
you
yes.
have rope.
Although, if we want to get to the roof,
Oh yeah, I thought we were trying to get under.
Yeah.
we
Is that
could
it?
enlarge Arlington. I assume you could step over or jump over.
He
I
doubles in
feel quite
size.
confident I could reach the roof by myself, but I'm not sure what it would achieve reaching it.
My only thought is that maybe we could like if it's airtight tavern, then we cut a hole in the roof. It'll be grand inside. But if it's not, then we cut a hole in the roof.
I would be
and it sinks further.
near as
I didn't think it'll sink any further.
I don't know, I'm just imagining.
from
All
my,
that extra air will surely raise it up like a beautiful balloon.
Like a cake.
from my understandings, these taverns are as close as temples to Avandra get. I don't know if we want to desecrate them. We certainly wouldn't gain her favor by cutting a hole in her ceiling.
That's a good point.
But it's just another form of travelling.
Let's put it in the maybe pile for now.
Maybe piles, yes.
Travelling into the shrine via the roof.
High in the celestial plane. I'm just like, I've never thought of that. Holes are a way to travel.
Can I cast detect magic on? Do I have to pick a certain thing, or is it a radius?
It's sort of like a general you can pick up on like magic pings, like a radar.
Yeah,
What's
what
the
I-
range on detect magic?
That's what I'm gonna just tell you now. Because what I'm curious about is like those
Doodle-doo.
gassy, like the pockets of air,
Yep.
and yeah, if it's like detect magic, 30 feet of me.
Okay.
So within 30 feet, you could get the tavern and the
Yeah, you can just go,
statue.
it emanates from you. You can move around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can cast it.
So can I cast that?
You cast.
So I'm
detect
gonna.
magic.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw on my tablet a pair of glasses, and I'm gonna hold those in front of my eyes, and I'm gonna look around like
Yes.
this, and then I'm gonna just peek over the top to see what the effect of the spell is. Also,
Such a good visual.
little like stars and stuff on the.
You
glasses.
can look like you're like at the periscope of a submarine with PSVR.
Yeah, just into a stone.
Yeah, I love that. That's so nice. So you cast detect magic, and yeah, there's no magic emanating from the statue. It's a simple.
Yeah, forget
her. She's last week's news. But there is a, like, almost on the edge of your range, you're getting like a little bit of magic in the tavern.
In the, as in coming
Like,
from like under the
Under
water.
the water, like where you would imagine if you were to go down into it,
Yeah.
something in there is
Okay.
magical.
Could they see this or no?
No.
Okay.
You don't
Yes,
They
the
don't have
magic
the
is
special
definitely coming
glasses,
from
so-
underneath that roof. It's something is inside. We have to get under that roof.
I have got another idea. It doesn't involve me teleporting.
Go on.
I might be able to fire a knife with a rope attached to it, or a spear, that distance, and then we would just be stuck in, and then we could climb the rope across. All of us could get across. And then cut a hole and teleport in.
I had a feeling it was still going to circle back.
I can swim over. I'm happy to
I can
swim over to
as
the
well.
roof.
Yeah, I think the getting
Did you,
there. is the-
did you bring your prop saw?
Yes or no, crack?
It's a magician's saw.
If
so
I
it
did, I'm
wasn't-
not letting him see.
Just throw me across in two halves, and then I'll reassemble.
Well, I mean, I would be open to attempting to swim down and see if there's a doorway and scout around. I can hold my breath for a reasonable amount of time, and see if I can. Perhaps it's more accommodating once we enter the tavern.
Sure. I'm willing for you to try and risk your life.
That would be.
I thought you'd be open to the idea. Well, how about I tie the rope around my waist and I swim down, and if you feel any panicked struggles, you. Well, maybe cast enlarge on someone and pull me out.
Yes.
Yes, okay, yeah. 68 pulls for no, 29 pulls for yes.
Nice.
Oh, he's dead.
How long is the rope?
50 feet.
Cool.
So I'm going to tie that around my waist, leave the
Cool.
rest with them.
Can I tie it around the statue?
You'd run out of.
No, right, never
like,
mind.
Yeah, because the statue's like.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I think I'm not going to do anything else to prepare. So yeah, I'm going to start swimming across. Is it easy enough to swim through the bog?
Are you swimming across the roof, or are you
I'm
diving
swimming.
in the?
I'm swimming
hole?
over to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And do I find it's easy enough to get through? It's just a bit tougher than water, maybe, or
You'd need to make an athletics check to see how tough this water is to get through.
athletics is 15.
15. There's no current, but it's thick, like like
Custard.
molasses.
Ooh, like molasses.
I was wondering where you were going to go after you said thick like. So many things to choose from.
Something gross.
Thick like Rian's accent.
Good. I'm glad you said accent.
Well, that's what Ian calls it. So you swim across the water. You do notice just naturally because you're in tune with nature. The water you're swimming through is a little bit thicker than the water Rian was so easily able to dive into. It's as if like some of it's earth, some of it's just fresh water, some of it's just kind of whatever. Okay. You don't need to concern yourself about the whatever water. So yeah, but you make it across to the roof.
Okay, and is it real dark? Like, does it look? Can I even see my hands as I'm treading water? Because it.
Yeah, you can, but in the same way that like, you know, when you're on the beach and it's wet sand and you kind of shake it about, and then the water comes up and you can kind of see your hands through the water, but it's still real muddy.
Okay, so
that's
it's
the
murky as
level
all
of
hell.
visibility you get.
There's not much I can do about that then. Okay, yeah, I'm just
Purify the water.
ha. No, I'm gonna give a thumbs up to my friends and then just kind of dive down. Like keep my hand to the tavern, so I kind of don't go too far off and try and go straight down. Like if the roof is here, I'm gonna try and go to where it looks like the door would be.
Yes.
Keep my hand on the wall and then start swimming down, trying to keep in contact with the tavern and hopefully hit door eventually.
Sure. So you make another athletics check as you wade into this bog.
Did a thumbs up mean we should follow him?
Great.
We never discussed.
It's the signal all over again.
Jump immediately in.
You try to sink into this bog, and you dive down, and you get to about shoulder, like, but you're not in fully. Like you just try to like submerge yourself in, and then hit sort of like, in a similar way, like a Chinese death trap. The earth around you just like solidifies.
Finger trap, I think. Are they death traps?
I did panic more. I was like, okay, so I'm in the death trap, guys.
You know those classic Chinese death traps.
2 thumbs up for the death trap.
Yeah, sure. It's Chinese finger trap. Except for poor Billy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
could cause
So
it
you
that.
don't don't break through
Okay,
the water.
do I feel like I'm stuck down now, or can I come back up?
Oof. I mean,
That's the noise you always want to hear.
yeah, I try. Like make a little.
Yeah, okay, but when I can't go down any further, I'm gonna try and.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of effort, and with the help of some of your party, you do pull
Yank
yourself
that
up
Yeah.
with a
Pull
nice,
back.
satisfying,
Yeah.
and you reek of bog.
Okay.
Ooh, I can prestidigitate that it smells nicer.
But,
Sure.
but I'm
Nice.
still dank.
Yeah, you're not gonna smell nicer, but we're gonna smell nicer. Mint, peppermint.
Arlington. It was much easier to swim where I swam, where the kind of fresh water was.
Yes,
Try there.
Yes, so, I suppose we should try that then, shouldn't we?
While we were watching you trying that, he kept saying that. He was like, "Oh, it was much easier my way," but we'll watch him.
In fact, I think what I said was, "Man, I made this look a lot easier. He's been making a real dog's dinner of this." I'm starting to think we need a new leader.
Was
I
Arlington
was
our
the
leader?
leader. I assure you, this is too much responsibility.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and do the same thing and dive, like, try and like swan dive into one of the other ones,
Amazing.
using my weight to.
You for two reasons, roll a performance check and a perception check.
Ooh, performance is not my forte.
Oh, it really
Oh,
isn't.
no, it's not.
So
and
big
it
splash.
gets better. I have a -1, so that's at 1.
Arlington cannonballs into the the slightly fresher water.
We
But-
all hold up 2.1.
And your perception
I was gonna
check.
say, hold up a
Perception check.
cloth to
Mm.
shield ourselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys. Ooh, nice, much better. Perception is a 21.
Oh, lovely. So you.
So I'm aware of how shit my dive was.
Oh, hard to live that one down. Maybe I'll just.
I'll just stay
here.
down. I'm letting all the air go out. This is how I
Sweet,
die.
sweet.
This is right.
nothing.
This is how this feels right.
So you start swimming, and it's not that the water is murky. The reason you close your eyes, you close your eyes because you're like, you know what? I'd be much better off feeling if there's these pockets of air coming through. You just close your eyes naturally to feel just where the current is, and you're swimming, and it's rushing past you, and you can feel there's a change in water temperature. There's like, it's warmer air coming through and then belching up.
Sounding more and more like a sewer.
And how much are you swimming? How far are you swimming?
I'm just swimming until I hit something.
Swimming to what's your constitution?
Constitution is 2, which means I can hold my breath for 3 minutes.
Nice. So you keep swimming. It's muddy water.
I mean, like if I get to like a minute and a half, I'm gonna start coming back up.
Yeah, it's like it is
And
hard
if
to
you
tell if
travel
you're
a minute
swimming the
and a
right way. Like at one point you could almost swear like something slithered past you, and you're like, yeah, that's gross. But you do kind of find yourself going down, and it's about a minute 40 seconds in that you start going back up again.
Okay. I'm gonna press on then.
And you press on, and you find yourself breaking the surface of the water inside this tavern. And that's where we will take our break.
Oh!
Wait, hang on. Before we take a break.
Oh my god, it's...
Why are we still live?
So we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Immediately after the break, we're going to do our dice giveaway. Our dice giveaway to one lucky follower or subscriber on YouTube and Twitch. If you do both, you're in twice. I'm just going to check to see if there's anyone who's joined the last kind of hour and a bit, just to make sure we got the right numbers, the right names, all that kind of stuff. We'll do that immediately afterwards. In the meantime, please do follow us on our social channels. That's at Homebrew Quest. And if there is anything you want to email us about, even if you just want to chat about the show.
Oh God, please email us about the show. I love talking about it.
Yeah, genuinely. rollforhomebrew@gmail.com is our email address, and actually we have a website and stuff now, which is really cool. So if you go to homebrewquest.com, you'll find it. If you're watching the show, you'll find out everything you know about the show. But if you want to tell friends about the show, the website's a really cool place to just send them. It's like, this is what it is. It's a brief description of what we do, where you can find us, how you can get in touch, just like proper like hype promo stuff.
With some legit photos of us taken by a friend of the show, Kristen.
Yeah, they're not drawings. They're legitimately
So
photos.
do you know Kirsten's handle?
Kirsten Healy. Yeah, Kirsten Healy on Instagram, and Kirsten Healy Weddings on Instagram. And she was amazing for us in the tap house where the power went out. And we did a whole photo shoot where we had brought bags of lights to shoot, and it was all done with phone lights and ambience.
So we'll be putting
D&D.
some of those photos out on social. You can see some of them on the website. A huge thanks to the Tap House in Ranelagh for letting us in. One of my favorite places to drink.
Yeah,
I plan this show there on Sunday afternoons. You'll
Don't
often
take that
find me in the
against
corner. And always a huge thank you to our partner of the show, Dakota Irish. So while we're gone, if you already follow us, check out their wares. They are so sweet.
Cool.
I'm looking to, Christmas is coming up. Not too close, but coming up close. My birthday's around there, so I'm gonna have.
There's a tab in Chrome for the Purple Heart dice tray that I've been like, I think I need to.
Yeah.
It's so
I want to get one of those slides. I mean towers, but slides.
You're just on a slide website.
Yeah, I mean my dice are telling me they want
Buying
it.
slides
So
for
until
yourself.
then, we're gonna do what humans do when we're drinking a lot on the internet, which is I don't know. You figure it out.
What
Use
humans
your
have done for
imagination.
millennia when they were on the internet.
So we will see you back here in about 15 minutes. We won't be late. I was about to be like, don't be late, but that's so mean to tell them. Don't be late. No, we'll be back soon.
Don't you dare miss it.
Bye. End of part 1. End of
We do videos every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. GMT time, so go check out the rest of our library as well, because we got a lot of stuff about the entertainment industry. It's going to be pretty good.
You're going to love it. All our videos are pure gold. And on with tonight's pure gold, because it doesn't take a genius to work out why we have come up with this particular question. The entire world, most of the internet, are talking about Tom Cruise and Top Gun Maverick, Top Gun 2, if you will. Tom Cruise is going to go back and play the Maverick role one more time at least, maybe even more, you never know if this goes well, after 34 years. So it got us thinking, well, what has actually been the longest distance between a movie and its sequel? And it's kind of interesting, some of the stuff we found.
Yeah, like we had a look at some, especially some of the trailers that came out recently, like Jay and Silent Bob, like which is about 18 years between
since Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was 18 years ago.
That's reminiscent.
I know, it's crazy.
So yeah, we kind of had the conversation about when Top Gear came out. We were just like, it must have been like when was Top Gear 1 and stuff. So we kind of
so like 34 years is a long time to go from character, first time you play it to the next time you play it. But weirdly also, because that all came out at Comic-Con, something else that was there was Linda Hamilton is coming back as, and we've talked about this before in a video here, she's coming back as Sarah Connor. So it's not necessarily a long distance between sequels, but it's a long distance between her coming back to portray what is one of the great kick-ass characters of all time.
Yeah, like it's an interesting kind of one, especially since we've had like a few of the other Terminators in the thing, and she's coming back for Terminator 3.
And it's 28 years from Terminator 2 to what will now be the follow-up to Terminator 2, even though it's Terminator 6. I'm so out of tune with what number film they're on in their sequence.
It's only 3 to me.
But yeah, so you know what? That's the best way of putting it. I think the easiest way to look at all this as well is, oh yeah, well, this is just a thing that's happening now because it's, people are getting into nostalgia. No, this has been happening, all over the place. When we started researching this, the amount of movies that you haven't realized, it's been 50 plus years. The reigning champ, a lot of people would say, is Bambi. So I'm just checking my notes. 63 years from the original Bambi to Bambi 2.
Yeah.
But we're not counting it.
Why not, Patrick?
Because Bambi 2 was released in Argentina in the cinema, I think, and everywhere else it was released on DVD or VHS.
Yeah, so we're discounting if it wasn't released in the cinema and it was a straight to DVD thing, which also covers a couple of the other animations, like Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp,
Cinderella, Fantasia 2000, which was a special musical reimagining. It shouldn't even be called a sequel. Like they're all, what are they all? They're all
about 40 to 50 years.
40, 50 years, all those things. So that's a long time. But to be fair, they're animated, so
yeah.
They're also not full theatrical releases, so out you get.
Which is the important thing here, where we're not counting them.
Exactly.
But we were saying that, which was some of the other stuff with, like some of the other kind of movies that came out for a theatrical release that came out recently, Independence Day 2.
Oh, yeah.
We had Dumb and Dumber as well.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah.
With the
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber 2. Yeah, oh, no, that was a different sequel.
Yeah, because which didn't have original cast members in it. It was them younger. And then Wall Street.
Oh yeah, Money Never Sleeps. That's a good point. Actually, so there's a whole, there's a laundry list of things that have happened in the last few years. But if you're trying to find out and you're trying to go back and get the genesis to answer the question that we're posing of what is the longest distance between a film and a sequel for a theatrical release, The Wizard of Oz takes a pretty good stab at it.
Yeah.
Because The Wizard of Oz was followed up 46 years.
Yeah. With the Return of the Oz, or Return to Oz,
which I watched as a kid, and I remember watching that as a kid and freaking out. Because The Wizard of Oz wasn't huge for me. I know The Wizard of Oz is huge. It's a big part of modern and pop culture. But Return to Oz is a little bit darker in places than people remember.
Yeah, see, this is the weird thing, because when you look at Wizard of Oz, there's a lot of lucky cursed kind of stuff going around it, like the Oompa Loompa in the background that's supposed to kill herself, but there's nothing compared to the actual Return to Oz is creepy as hell.
The stuff that actually happened to people,
not even the stuff they do, just the film itself.
Oh no, the film itself would give you the willies.
Like the skater guys with the wheel things, that's creepy as hell.
They got rid of flying monkeys and instead they got weird
rollerblady people.
It was like evil shopping trolleys. It was just weird. Shopping carts for my American friends. That was. And Fairuza Balk was in it. That's who played the little girl. And a lot of people will be like, who's she? Do you remember, Craft? The witches, the coven. Mm-hmm. That's where she showed up again. So I saw her as a child in this creepy Oz film. And then as a grown-up, I was like, is that oh my God, it is. And that film got just slightly creepier when I made the connection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So 46 years on, Oz.
Yeah, so why do they do this in certain ways, especially with The Wizard of Oz and The Return of Oz, is because they were losing, or not losing, but the property was becoming up to its copyright date. Yeah. So if you, especially in movies, if you don't use it, you lose it. So,
yeah, they basically had to make the movie or lose the rights.
Yeah, because if you try to recopyright something but you haven't used it in a certain period of time, it's a lot harder to copyright it again.
Yeah, they'd bought all sorts of properties at the time. Weirdly though, it was going to happen anyway. And the reason I say that is this was the 80s. People were starting to realize the money that generations were having, and that is one of the reasons why these things happen. They would have made an Oz movie because Oz is such a part of pop culture that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And the 80s was the perfect time for the film that did happen, because it wouldn't be made today. So yeah, it was an interesting one.
So yeah, with the Oz thing, it's also good because with the return of Oz, it means that the generation who hasn't seen the original one will have to go back and see it, which generates more sales for DVDs and stuff.
Yes.
So it's a kind of a loop thing.
So 46 years, is that the longest? No, it's not. And before we tell you what the longest is, there's another subcategory that I actually found interesting when we talked about it. We were both... I almost think this is the spiritual winners, because these are sequels or follow-ups that actually have, so a la Top Gun and Maverick, they have the same actor playing the same character. Harrison Ford knows a little bit about this.
Yeah, we got 2 Harrison Ford movies with it, with Blade Runner, which goes Blade Runner 2046.
Yeah, which was 35 years after the original Blade Runner. So 35 years, that's a pretty big gap.
That's a pretty good one. And we also have the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, which is in your kind of your 20 plus range as well. So he's not a stranger to it. Then you have Tron.
Yeah, with Jeff Bridges.
Tron Legacy, yeah. Jeff Bridges came back in 2 different ways, thanks to him being all sorts of... He really came back.
With Clue and... I can't remember the name of his character. Go watch it. I actually really like that. Flynn. That was it. Go. I actually really like that movie.
You know what? I'm going to die on that hill with you. I don't hate Tron Legacy either, and it's not just the Daft Punk soundtrack. Because I really like the original Tron. It meant a lot to me as a kid. Watch it now. Kind of trippy, actually.
Yeah, it is.
You forget some of the trippier parts.
Which is just side note. Which is a sad part to it, because I do know that they were going to make a third one.
Oh.
To it, and it was going to be like, because the idea is that they're going to try come into the real world kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think the third one was meant to be the more of them come into the real world thing. But Tron Legacy didn't do too well in the cinema, so
yeah. So damn it, you should have gone. So it was nearly 29 years, 28 and a half years for Tron to Tron Legacy, 35 years for Blade Runner to Blade Runner 2049. But the one that I actually want to give my little spiritual prize to is The Odd Couple. Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. They did, and a lot of the other cast came back, they did their sequel Odd Couple 2 with the same characters, a lot of the same cast, the 2 principal leads, the same people, after 30 years. So Odd Couple 2, come on, I know it's not the longest, but honourable mention.
Yeah, no, very much so. So we have a couple of other honourable mentions, which is we have Mad Max as well, Fury Road, which came back after 29 years.
Yeah, it didn't have the original cast, but it certainly had the original characters.
It did have one original cast who played a different character though, didn't it? Amelia or Joe, what's his name? The main bad guy kind of character. Mason Joan. He was in one of the other Mad Maxes.
I didn't know that.
I can't remember which one. I want to say Road Warrior.
Maybe. Well, see, this is why I love doing a podcast with him, because there you go. I did not know that. That's cool. I'm going to be looking into that one.
I feel like he's the biker. You know, at the start of Mad Max Road Warrior.
That would be great.
So
that would be great. Actually, yeah, there we go. Something to look
up.
Don't
quote me on that character, but I do know he's in it.
There's going to be one before we reveal the big winner. There's one that everybody's shouting at the screen. And that is Star Wars, from Return of the Jedi to Phantom Menace, which is episode 3 back to episode 1. So nobody get into the distance between episodes.
4. Episode 1 to episode 4.
It's episode...
Is it episode 6 to episode 1?
See, feck it. Anyway.
This is where we're getting confused, because we also know that someone out there is going to be like...
Yeah. We just know one of you is going to get all Poindextery about it and be like, well, actually, technically, this is a prequel to a sequel to a thing, because it's actually 45 million years between the first and the last. Anyway, from 83 when Jedi did it to 99 when the second and far inferior trilogy started with Phantom Menace. That's only, 16 years? 16 years.
About 16 years.
So a lot of people are shouting, well, surely that's the longest. Not even in the ballpark. We've been talking about, 30 and 40 years here. So if we've been talking about 30 and 40 years, the overall winner at 54 days, or 54 years and 120 days.
Drum roll, please.
Insert sound effect. Here is Mary Poppins.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it wasn't on my radar. That was not what I was thinking when we were doing the research, thinking, oh, it's going to end up being Mary Poppins. I had completely forgot that it had actually been that long.
Yeah, see, that's the thing as well, because I Mary Poppins didn't come into our idea of the sequels at all, but with Emily Blunt playing Mary Poppins, it's a real kind of runner for this. And we were like, out of nowhere, we're just like,
completely forgot Mary Poppins.
So,
and I gotta say, I haven't seen Mary Poppins Returns yet. I will see it at some stage, but I'm kind of glad that it holds the title. There's something kind of sweet about that, because I think the original film was sweet, and I think,
yeah,
by all accounts, Emily Blunt does a great job in the new one. She usually does a great job in things. So, Mary Poppins, you're our winner. But I think realistically, to round this one out, why do these things happen? We've touched on it that, there's sometimes you have to make the film so you don't lose the rights. I touched on the fact that they're doing it to make sure they get the money out of generations before they disappear. Realistically, though, so many of these things are part of pop culture.
yeah.
Why would you, as you rightly put it, the brand recognition, why would you waste that?
No, yeah, like that's the thing. As in especially with her upcoming with the Lion King and stuff like that, we've got the Lion King remake. It's a perfect brand recognition thing, because you've got our generation who watched the original animation, but then you're going to want to bring the next generations into the fold of watching the Lion King, and then, as I said before, you watch the new live action one, and then you're gonna obviously going to go back and watch the original animated one, which will just generate, because I don't know, like I don't have the Lion King on DVD or anything.
No,
so.
I don't want to admit this, but I actually have never actually watched the Lion King. I know I'm going to get struck off the internet, but yeah, like, why would they waste it? So obviously sequels are going to keep happening for that reason. Now, that is pretty cynical. Is it a good reason, a bad reason? I'll be honest, I don't care if somebody makes a sequel, as long as they have a story to tell and it's good. I'm as fine with a sequel or a follow-up 20 years later or 2 years later if you have a story to tell and you're going to put love and care and attention into it. Do it. The ones that turn out, invariably the ones that turn out the worst, are the ones that are the cynical cash grabs.
Yeah, like I'm kind of more on the kind of, this is, it always feels like a sequel to an old property like this is, like someone went, why don't we remake it? And someone went, yeah, but aren't people going to be annoyed about that? And they go, well, what about a sequel? We could definitely write a good enough story and stuff. That's my take on it. It's like
that they're akin to reboots in that kind of way.
It's the left field of reboots kind of things. But I'm the same about with Patrick. I've stated it before that as long as the story is good and the film is done with care, I'm all for it and stuff. Yeah. Even if the underlying currents of it is that it is either copyright, like a copyright build or a money grab kind of thing.
Yeah, and at this stage, we can all be grateful for some of the great sequels. We've had great sequels, so if I was to say, oh, well, sequels are just bad, I know I would be counting out so many of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, and I really like the point that they're kind of the kissing cousin of the reboot.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's just the other choice that they make. That's really interesting.
But still, as long as it's entertaining, story-wise good, perfectly happy.
And again, that's what we've always said about reboots as well. I don't care. It's do it well.
Hello and welcome back to Homebrew. Welcome to part 2, where we're going to kick straight off with Keelan's face merch.
Keelan's face merch.
Yeah. One of a kind.
There is only one.
Puckats.
Yeah.
Stick them on your head.
Very expensive.
My
prototype.
lice love it. Anyway, Keelan, here's your house.
It's like peeling off soup skin.
Apparently, within North America, I don't want to disclose where I was, so I'll just go continent-wise.
Yeah.
Within North America, because you guys didn't want to disclose where I was. There's a store called Lids, which appears to just do hats.
Yes.
They have an embroidery machine. I went in and tried to get my face.
I lived in this part of North America for so long. I did not know I could get my own. Well, I'm not allowed to wear hats. It just my hair's
Medical
too...
thing?
Yeah.
No, my fiance's like, take that hat off. And I'm like, oh, come on. Because I do this thing when I'm going through airports of putting on a baseball cap and sunglasses to pretend I'm famous.
Maybe someone will ask for my autograph.
So I'm not allowed to wear hats.
So good.
I don't think it might. It's probably not that she thinks they look bad. She probably just wants you to stop doing that.
Yeah, maybe. I'll never stop.
I went in and tried to get this done, and they were like, no one has ever done a face before, let alone their own face.
What?
Yeah.
I
no one
find
had
that
asked them.
so hard to believe.
I was trying to
Drake
talk to
gets
them
his own
about
guys
Come
to
on.
go in and do it, I guess.
Yeah.
No, they mostly get
Can I
like
get
just
Drake's
like
face?
a sports team and then a signature or whatever else. Dweebs.
So
Here
we
you
have
go,
a
face.
dice giveaway.
Yes, we do.
We have a show to be doing.
Sure.
We'll catch up with each other
that
later.
Yeah.
We have a dice giveaway, but before we give away those dice, if you are in Dublin And part 1 of this, or this show in general, or even outside of watching this show, you've always wanted to play Dungeons & Dragons, or you're looking for a group to play with, there is a group of deadly nerds called D&D Dublin, and you will find them. I did a quick check over the break, being like, where's the best place to send people? meetup.com/Dungeon-Dragons-Dublin. And if you join that meetup group, you'll get all the notifications. It's not just playing games. There's DM meetups, so you can swap ideas, like a little DM coven that we can like share all our secrets. How are we going to kill and enlighten our friends? So do check them out. That's meetups.com/Dungeon-Dragons-Dublin. The dash being the hyphen, not the forwards. I don't know.
I was thinking slash when you said
No, just dash. Hyphen. Yeah.
Hence he didn't
Dungeon
say slash.
hyphen.
Yeah, I can see.
So check them out. But we have an exclusive set of homebrew dice to give away, made for us by our lovely partner Dakota Irish. These are I actually got to name them together with Dakota Irish. We're like, what are we going to name these pretties? And we bandied around a couple of names and landed on Irish Heather, because the Irish Heather, the plant, has the same kind of coloured petals and gold specks inside. And I thought, that's perfect. The reason these guys are all on a quest is on behalf of the sort of plot divulger, to use a word, is Citra O'Dwyer, who is a herbalist. So would use some Irish Heather in her mortal and pestle to
What are you doing in our camera? Oh my gosh!
Get out! I'll come over here.
Now they know the layout of our room.
I'm Wes. Hey, how's it
Sorry, it
going
was
over
just
here,
so
guys?
strange seeing you over here.
I do all the camera stuff.
That works?
No.
Don't worry,
Now
Wes.
they know the
better.
layout of our
No one
room.
noticed that.
Anyway, I'll be back, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Hey,
no
what
one
did I
will
miss?
notice
I
you
was
were.
only gone for a second. I was busy doing camera
The
stuff.
suspense for the giveaway has never been higher.
Cheap tricks.
So I put all the names into a website online where it just kind of picks a random winner. So I'm going to click the button and see what happens.
Oh,
Clickety
genuinely
click.
excited.
Here we go. Bum, 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 bum.
Ben Clifford Sr.
Plastic_Buddha. Congratulations, Plastic_Buddha.
Mildly
You have
sacrilegious,
won.
but
You have won this exclusive set of homebrew dice made by Dakota Irish. Get in touch with the show on our socials. Just send us like a proof that it's you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm Plastic Buddha.
Yeah.
No, I'm Plastic Buddha. We're Plastic Buddha. Share
Just
the
a piece
dice,
of paper
guys.
that
we
you
have
write plastic
unfortunately
butter.
the prize is unfortunately going to the Hive Mind.
Yeah.
We have to get like 30 copies of these
Congratulations. We will get that out to you as soon as possible. Basically, it'll go to us, it'll go to Dakota, you'll deal with them, and then the dice will go your way. So, yeah. I think that's everything we need to
Nice.
do.
Well, they
Some
won't.
bits and
After you
bobs.
get them, then they might not necessarily go your way because they are dice.
Yeah.
We're not
they're
promising
loaded.
magical dice
Yeah.
or loaded dice.
Well, we don't know if they're, like,
Oh, they could be
might
magical.
be.
They could be. Yeah.
Yeah, they might be. We
I
don't
haven't seen
know.
them.
Actually,
Our
yeah,
filthy
keep
gross.
us posted.
Can we be getting loaded dice?
Yeah, maybe if they could just
That'd
take
be
a list
pretty
of
handy.
every roll that they get, and so then we can just keep to tally on that. That'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
Actually,
Assuming
do,
they survive because they might be cursed dice.
Oh yeah,
In
even
which
more
case-
helpful to maybe put it on Google Docs, so if they perish, we can still see it.
No.
the
If they
Excel
perish,
sheet.
we don't want
More
other people to
saying
know that we're
perish
giving away
rather
cursed
than
dice.
The Jumanji of dice. So
You can have
do-
that one for free, Dakota Irish.
Speaking of Dakota
Magnets.
Irish, do check out their store. They have brand new dice vaults, little like wooden handcrafted vaults to put all your dice in. They are so pretty. So if you're looking for a place to display your dice, like I do at home, look at my glorious dice. I have many sculptures made of mahogany.
The more we play this game, the more I feel bad for your fiance.
So does she. So let's dive right back in. Imagination's on, people. Ba-ba. Last we left off, Arlington had just submerged.
Yeah, let's splash it with
from-
water. In our imagination.
It's 4. Last we left off, you'll actually notice this about the show. Part 2 is usually a bit more boisterous because we be drinking.
And we assume so of you.
Yeah. No matter when you're watching or where you're watching.
Listen, it's 6 p.m. somewhere. And it's 20 to 10 here. Chin
We're running
chin.
behind.
Arlington, you submerge yourself in this water tunnel. You swim down and up and around, and you burst out inside
The water temple from
Ocarina of Time.
Damn it, I got the wrong
That's
Zelda.
gonna be the
You got
toughest.
the joke I was
Gonna
going
be the
for.
toughest one.
You
needs
are
himself.
inside this ruined tavern. You kind of come out on a bit of a slant, There's a wooden floor on an incline ahead of you. It's a cramped space, and as you sort of take it in, you realize this is a small snug beside the bar. There's a little window
I can die here.
to place your order.
Best part of the bar.
And as you gasp for air,
Oh
the
wait, is there
smell-
anyone already in the snug?
No, the smoke,
Okay.
smoke's yours. Yeah.
Because the first
no
round
one's camping out
sometimes,
there
yeah.
from 3 o'clock on a Friday.
The regulars already have it.
As you gasp for air, the smell of damp earth and sulfur sort of immediately hit
Sulfur.
you.
Can I see any signs of life, movement, or anything?
Make a perception check.
Historically
It is
amazing,
dim light. You can see that there is a which I wrote in my notes. DM tip. Physics. It's tough. Keelan over there pointed out that if there's pockets of air coming out of a bubble, probably not a gap in the roof. But then I wrote in like lights coming in from a little gap in the roof. How is it happening? Magic? Who knows?
Magic.
Well, I mean, we
But
already
it's dim light.
we know there's magic happening.
Somehow it's dim light.
I also have dark vision, so
Ah,
dim light is regular.
You
light.
close your eyes and you're like, this dim light does nothing.
That's yeah. We're gonna get a
yeah, roll
lot of
perception.
Gygax
Yeah.
things about closing your eyes not
Just-
being
just-
dark vision.
Just in case
I
we're
can
gonna
see in
stick
the
some disadvantage on me. Perception, that's 10.
10. So you're looking for signs of life.
Yeah, any movement, anything that could be dangerous or anything moving.
Not immediately in this snug, and not through the gap in the snug window you can see. So it seems like the whole tavern is sort of up on an incline. You're in the snug in the corner. The door is kind of to the side, and like the rest of this long bar is sort of stretching up. And that's probably where the peak of the roof is, just sort of poking its little head out of the water.
Should have discussed how I'd.
Has he been gone for
Yeah.
more than he's been gone
Should
more
have
than 3 minutes.
we should
He's
have
been gone
discussed,
about-
Can I just say to the guys,
2-3 minutes, yeah.
I learned this back in my village, but I can get a message to him. What if should we ask him if we should follow? I can, because I can send a message, I can point, and it can go through solid objects as long as I know the target. So can I whisper?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I just want to check with them. We want to go follow if we can.
Oh,
right?
I think we
Yeah.
do. If it's safe, we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
I thought he was dead.
So can I want to.
Not mourning him. It's just pretty cool, pretty chill with the whole thing.
Huck's already writing his very
As
familiar
long as
eulogy.
he's not a member of the Fianna, Huck doesn't give a shit.
No, they're my new
Yes,
friends.
you can cast a message.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast message, and I'm going to.
So, for anyone who's unfamiliar with the spell, can you just give us a brief what it does, if
That'd
there's
be
a limit
honest.
to it, if there's a range, mainly
Yes.
for me, but
This is
also
the
for the
school
audience.
equivalent of show your work.
Yes. And I have these handy cards. Yeah, so I'm going to. I can point my finger at a creature or where a creature is, and send a message that only they can hear. If they can only, it's a whisper. It can be through objects, as long as I know the target and
Okay.
I know that they are behind that
Yeah.
thing, which I do.
And I think I can reply, can't I?
Oh,
I think.
and can reply in a whisper that only I can hear. Yes. Okay. Sweet. Well, so I'm gonna whisper.
So, is there
What,
any
make a
other
joke about
limitations
gossip?
to message?
Sorry.
Just before word count, any of that kind of thing?
It's like one sentence kind of thing, I think.
The spell doesn't have to follow a straight line, can travel freely around corners. 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood blocks. The spell.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's
Card
any.
doesn't say.
Yeah.
I think
So
it's like
you
a
can just-
sentence.
But these
Whisper
cards,
forever,
these
you
cards
get a long
actually
thing going
don't
across.
say loads. Like they,
Yeah,
for
but
cards that should tell you all of the information of the thing.
Yeah.
For other spells, there's stuff in the manual that
Don't be
doesn't
shaming
say.
the cards.
they'll
Potential
never
sponsors.
trust you again.
Yes.
Yeah, so, no, yeah, that's
Anyway.
fine. Yeah.
But no,
I
they're
would say,
also
I would
incredibly
say
useful.
rules is written on that. The idea that it can go through a solid object. It said like 1 foot of something, 1 foot of something else. We're just throwing that out the window because it's just gone through water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to go through a straight line. So yeah. Oh, that's true. Okay. But I can only I understand that as I say one thing and he says one thing back, not
Yeah.
a conversation back and forth. Is that right?
Unless you
Yeah.
cast it again.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's a
gotcha. Yeah,
cantrip, right? You can keep doing it.
No, it's a level 1 spell.
Oh, then.
No, it is a
No,
cantrip.
Oh, it's cantrip. Then you
Yeah.
can just go back and forth
Oh.
forever.
Oh, so
Maybe
I could
that's why
actually
they
do this
don't
way
have a
more
limited
often. Oh, okay. So I don't need to, and I don't need to knock that off as a spell used.
No, cantrips are just.
Oh.
Have you been
Reactions.
kind of marking off cantrips?
No.
She's been doing
Yeah,
You-
they're like
you
just
just learned-
natural
It's all of
abilities.
them.
That's it. So he's been like, bards are just so useless. I always run out of spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is what I learned like 2 episodes ago.
We're
You
all
just didn't pay
learning.
attention
yeah.
to that part. I was like doing that exact thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone can tell, I'm one of the new players. Never played before.
I'm
Okay.
not. I should have.
He's the more experienced
Yeah,
one.
I should have known a lot more. Yeah.
So I'm gonna whisper. I'm gonna say, Hey, Arlene,
Oh, my
what's going
goodness.
on? How are you? Oh, it's me. I hope you're okay down there. I really hope that you haven't drowned. Could you? We're just thinking, if you want us to follow, would you pull on the rope 3 times exactly? And if you would like us to pull your probably lifeless body out, pull once.
It's like you get like 5 words in to continue sending your message.
Yeah. The message you receive is "Hi, Arlington."
yeah.
Answering machine out of tape.
Yeah. Also, I've sent you a message to which you can magically respond.
Yeah.
Here's a complex way of telling me how well you are.
So I'm gonna stand
He
there.
might not know. He might not know we can respond. So what he says
Yeah,
might.
yeah.
So I'm gonna hold her up and be like, well, how many times do I have to tug it to tell her she
Please?
should follow me? I know I want them all to follow me, but how many times do I tug it?
Oh, I said 3 times.
You have to cast the spell again. To
Yeah, I
do it.
am.
So because as I'm
Casting
explaining,
it
Arlington does not know that he can
Yeah.
that you can hear his responses, but you can hear everything I'm saying back.
Yes. Okay.
And you get it 3 times.
So blastedly bad at magic sometimes. I cherish her dearly, but she's so befuddlingly difficult. How do I? Well, I'm gonna start. Yeah. Well, I don't want them to think I'm stuck here.
No, it's okay. I'm casting it again.
Yeah.
As soon as it's
No,
just
please
one
do.
tug, Huck goes,
Pull,
"He's dead."
pull it 3 times. Then we can know that we can follow, and then maybe hold it taut so we can kind of follow along the rope. 3, please, tugs.
Iggy, can you hear me?
Sorry? I cast it again because I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm just watching, looking for tugs, you know? I'm like, get out of my ear.
Ignatius O'Flower, can you hear me when I respond to you?
Of course, yes.
Follow me down the hole.
Oh, okay, it's safe then. Well, you could have just said that.
Yes, I would have saved a lot of bother.
Well, that was a
So we
roaring
only heard-
success.
We only heard like one side of the conversation.
You can just
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
it.
Well, you could have just said
Yes.
Well, actually, I don't think you heard anything. It's a message only Arlington.
Oh,
could
yeah.
hear.
Oh,
It is.
no,
So
no,
she was
but I
there
thought we
being-
could
I was
hear
like-
her. She's
Yeah,
No,
it's
no,
a
but-
message. She's going.
She does
So
it in
I
her
think it goes
mind.
one can be unheard and the response can be heard or whatever. So I was verbally saying it out loud. So she's just kind of
Iggy's like ASMRing.
I truly didn't forget that because I hadn't read the whole thing, so I thought I had to send a message that he couldn't reply to. So.
Some would say, like,
Yeah.
reading it out for the audience would have given you that information.
Exactly. I repeated it. We spoke about it. Like, can we go back and forth?
Yeah, we
Cantrips. Anyway.
Anyway,
Okay.
you guys follow, and you find yourselves
Yeah.
in the snug.
But
of
when I
this,
do, I'm just gonna give the rope just 3 tugs, just to for my own peace of mind.
just to really confuse him.
Yeah. Wait, what does
Well,
that
apparently he doesn't know what that means.
He's
so.
He's gonna think that means he should come back.
meet you halfway.
there's 3 tugs. Oh, no.
with the rope to follow. You guys don't need to roll. It's just not an easy swim, but you're able to kind of just like when they send you on one of those adventure camps when you're a kid. You're not enjoying
Yeah.
it. You're just doing it.
Yeah.
Orienteering, fun.
Yeah. But with
Oh,
a
that's
rope.
never good.
Yeah, orienteering's never been fun for anyone.
Yeah.
You
Don't
can
the
just
dragons
Tricking
basically
kids
just
into
one big
walking.
It kind of, but in your mind, so you don't have to go outside.
yeah.
And
Uh,
orienteering is just Pokemon Go, so you know.
Yeah. You find yourselves in this tavern
Both
in this
popular.
snug.
I saved you some seats.
Thank you very much. Did you find what we were looking for?
I found that we could progress through the bar.
You don't give up a snug. If you
That's
I left my
We're here
coat
for good
there,
now.
but I don't know
It's
how
good
long I can
strategy.
hold it because the regulars might be back.
Aye, how good's the Guinness?
I haven't tested it yet.
It needs clean pipes.
get his quality team have such a hard time getting
yeah. Aye, it's the perfect temperature under the river, but cleaner pipes.
I haven't really explored too far into this. I want to make sure you all got here safely, and also I was a little bit scared.
Well, that makes perfect sense. We are underwater.
Yes, realistically, the water could come tumbling in at any moment.
So we should move quickly.
Probably. Is everyone all right seeing in this gloom? Can we all?
Oh, can we prestidigitate some light?
That would be fake light, though. I don't think that would help.
Oh,
but
that
we can
doesn't
make
help.
it not smell, so
Oh,
I'm going to do that.
okay. So that doesn't. Okay, never mind.
You can clear the sulphurous and earthy smell that also hits your
If
nose
someone
as you
has
gasp for air.
light-
I'm going with peppermint. What are you going with?
Oh, lemons.
Lemons,
All
okay.
day lemons.
Peppermint and lemons, the
Is
classic
there like
mix
a
for
walking
everyone.
multi-level
Yeah.
marketing scheme for
Yeah.
herbal essence. There's some sort of like essential oil.
Yeah, but now it smells like some cheap bleach. You know, like that's what's happened.
Do you guys have any light spells?
I mean, I can set things on fire.
Yeah, we can do a fireball, right?
Interesting.
I could, if I prepare a fireball, did we agree that I could also not fire it?
Set something on fire.
As in, like,
Yeah.
if you kind of.
If I do the preparation for firebolt,
My friend,
And
before you
hold
set
it.
anything on fire, I did notice that some of the gas pockets did explode when you attacked that bullywog. So perhaps fire isn't
that
the way
was
to go.
great.
And we can pretty much ignore this weird lemon and peppermint smell and assume that there is gas all around us that could explode at any minute.
Nah, you can't smell it. Peppermint and lemon isn't explosive.
They do call peppermint and lemon the silent killer.
I think that we just plow on. Arlington, you can see in this gloom. You lead the
Oh,
way.
wait,
and-
hold on. I'm so sorry. Tum, tum.
I'm gonna activate my shield.
There we go.
Still getting used to this thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can't remember
I
if,
would like-
if halflings have low light vision or anything.
I'd like to investigate the bar to see if I can find any barrels.
Of course you would.
So you
Or,
guys-
or any stouts.
It's a little bit of a. It's like, I wouldn't call it rough terrain, but it's hard going to get you kind of make your way out of the slick kind of incline floor out of the snug, and you see like there's like a bunch of tables and chairs to your right hand side, which has just slid down and crashed against the door of this tavern, and all this wet and dank. It's as if like this sort of cured
Gross.
wood. Is that what you'd call like varnished wood? Maybe?
Varnished
Yeah,
wood, yeah.
Bogwood?
Cured
Are you talking about bogwood?
Pardon?
Talking about bogwood?
No,
No,
I'm
not
talking
Kind
about
of
Okay.
slick wood.
Yeah, this sort of
Okay.
it's kind of like rotted into the actual walls and wood of the tavern.
Okay.
It's sort of
Rotten
surrounded
wood.
by this. Yeah, it's like rotten.
Not varnished.
But I mean, the original chairs and tables were varnished, but like over time they've just sort of disintegrated into this.
Right.
Is
And you
there anything
see-
suspicious about that?
Not particularly. It's decayed
He's awfully
over time,
suspicious.
unless you call time suspicious.
Guys, our worst enemy has been here. Grandfather time.
It'll ravage us all.
And
You'll
you do
always
see-
find
He
us.
killed my mother.
I feel his grip against my neck.
No, that's Hulk hanging off here.
Aye, that's me. Even though
You
we're
see,
both halflings.
you see some kind of wet vines dripping down from the roof where the earth is sort of mixed in. It's as if like the earth and tavern have been absorbed into one. Like they're living a little bit in harmony. Like the vines and roots and sort of general plant life is holding the structure in place, but also absorbing the wood and sort of just like taking a part of it. So as you make your way out of the
Some annihilation shit.
Does anyone else feel like they're in their own grave?
Not before you said it, but now, yes.
You can be extremely grim when you want to be, Huck.
Paints a picture.
Reen, I need you to make a dex saving throw.
But sure, it's a roomy grave, and it's a pub as well.
Saving throw, that's 23.
23. So as you make your way out of the snug and you go to step, the floor beneath your foot is uneven, and you almost like you're almost about to put pressure on it, but then you don't, because knowing that if you did, it would just go through the floor and probably take a couple of splinters. But you avoid that and make your way out. The rest of you, what are you guys up to?
I mean, did you just see him move?
Yeah.
Did he decide to explain that any of the flooring was dangerous? No. Is there anything that looks like specifically like what we're looking for? Something shiny?
Barrels?
Barrels?
And we're looking for barrels?
Iggy,
Barrel aged stout?
Are you still locating sources of magic? Is anything lighting up for you?
Yes, I am. Still
Is
doing
it
that.
a
What am I-
concentration spell or
Oh,
not?
yeah, maybe. I don't, it is concentration.
Should be at the top.
It just says casting time, one
to 10
action,
minutes.
Oh, no, I think
up
I
to 10 minutes. Oh, yes, it has a
There's
little
a C
C.
on
The
it,
C.
that's
That
like
makes
a
Yeah, so it's
concentration.
concentration.
So I
and
would
is
have.
message a concentration spell?
No.
Cool. So it's been about 7 minutes since you guys have 3 minutes left.
Cool.
And yeah, that kind of beacon of magic is getting stronger. It's up on the incline
Yeah.
and sort of tucked around to the left, where when you came into the snug, there was a bar window, and the bar's stretching up there, and it seems like it's just tucked in
Like the back of the bar.
at the back of the bar, but up high because the whole structure is sort of leading
Okay.
towards the surface. And as you guys wander out of the snug and look up along the bar, you notice at the very end, on top of the counter, down sort of the opposite end of the room, sort of a dark mound. A sort of mound of earth, and I don't know, maybe it's a stool that's been placed on the bar and sunken in. And that's when it starts to move. And you hear sort of cracking, creaking, the noise of bark grinding against bark as this mound sort of sits up
As soon as it starts moving, I'm gonna turn off the shield and try and take cover.
And you watch it just dangle its feet over the bar counter,
You turned off
stretch
the shield.
out its arms, and you just hear it. And it's just sitting on the edge of the bar.
Creepy.
And now we're plunged into darkness.
It's dim
It's
light.
dim light.
Dim light.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, we
I
can
can
still
actually
see
see in dim light. I just checked.
I'm trying to hide behind a table or something nearby, so just try and break line of sight of this thing. And
Hello there.
it's like,
God damn it!
Damn it, that's so in character.
You see this
like
head.
he was behind me and I hid.
Yeah.
You're real. Damn it! I should have just stayed there. You see this head just sort of turn and kind of look, and what you're seeing is like, it's like a small tree
Okay.
man. Like its left arm is like sort of this like spherical surface, as if it's just sort of like a natural shield, and it's holding a little club in its hand and puts it down to wave back and just kind of goes. And it speaks in a language you don't understand. None of you speak Sylvan, right?
No.
We've been.
I think someone has spoken Sylvan before
That's not the one that I spoke in the nature
to the
place.
Dryads. Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
In that, yeah, I did speak it then.
yeah.
Do you want to check?
Do you want to check?
I
Yeah.
definitely did speak it
I
then.
can confirm I did. I don't know if I was supposed to.
Yeah. Let's not check whether or not you
No,
should have been.
you're
able to-
you're pointing towards me. I spoke to a squirrel.
You spoke to a squirrel. Yeah, I think it was.
No, I spoke to the people
the
guarding
tree
the
creatures, to
the
the
tree
dryads,
creature.
yeah.
Huck's
Does it
got
say on here
this.
she-
The
she
international
Sylvan?
language of friendship. We'll be fine.
I don't know if it was on stream. I think it was off stream, but
It says extra language. I never filled it in, but I think on that time
on
we
that
picked.
day. You were like,
picked Sylvan.
this convenient one.
It's
This is-
okay,
this is good.
It's okay, guys. I speak extra language.
Yeah.
As long as
think
I keep
that's
it as
exactly
extra
what
language, I can
happened.
speak anything.
That was off stream, so it counts.
Yeah.
Does that count? I don't know.
Yeah. We decided on that day that you spoke Sylvan for
Yeah.
convenience sake.
And we thought it was never going to come up because it was off record. You know?
And Ben maybe thought that this would make it more difficult. Alright.
No, it's just the language it speaks. And he goes,
So you understand.
hello,
Hello.
hello.
You speak tree.
I'm sorry to disturb. I hope we're not disturbing you.
I was just having a nap.
Oh, lovely. Do you come here often?
Well, I live here. So, yes.
It's lovely. The smell is beautiful here.
I don't know how to get rid of it.
Iggy, it doesn't mean us harm.
I don't think so. He said he was just having a nap.
Okay.
A nefarious nap.
Should I tell him
Plotting
about the?
dreams.
Should I tell him about the stout?
Well, I think first we need to clear up that we mean him no harm. Like we're not
Yes.
like here to hurt anybody.
Yes.
Tell him I said hello there.
I will tell him. Oh, my friend here is very keen to pass on his hello. We mean you no harm. We're just passing through.
Why do I get the feeling she said the hello first?
Yes, she certainly organised it in the
I thought
order
that
of
would sound
importance.
friendly.
Passing
I
through. Like, there's nowhere else to, like, once you're here, it's like destination. It's like there's no, if you're looking for the road, it's back where you came.
Oh
And
no. No, we are actually looking for something.
can I get you a drink? I mean, I'm
yes.
not the bartender.
Could you get me a drink?
Sure.
Do you wouldn't? I'm from somewhere else. So I don't know if you stock it here, but do you have like a barrel aged stout that's like maybe blessed by the goddess of Vendra?
If you have it. If you have it.
Yeah.
The goddess Avendria?
Avendra.
I've never heard of that god in my life. But what I do have, and he swings his legs over the counter and like hops down and goes, oh, slippy. Watch yourselves. I should. You'll be fine. And he goes under.
I'm
and
trying to
he-
maintain
he-
my like out of line of sight.
He takes out a bottle of beer and puts it on the counter and just rolls towards you.
Oh, handy. So I
Make
can put a hand out.
dexterity check.
Sure.
This is important. Does it roll or does it slide?
It rolls.
Oh god.
That's a not natural 20.
Oh, yeah, you just catch it.
So I'm actually gonna. It's gonna like I'll just pop out and I'll just hit perfectly.
Easily the coolest thing Iggy's ever done.
Yeah.
Oh, by far.
Oh, getting drinks. I'm a natural.
Wow.
And you've got
Watch as she
a,
walks
And
the
can
deck
I look at
saying
it? What
in a
is
few
it?
minutes.
it's a faded label.
Ooh, that's a good beer name.
Yeah, faded
If
label.
only we
Actually,
had a
what
few
it
ways
says-
to name our beer.
God, it's faded. Now I can't explain what it is. You get a bottle of Weights and Measures. It's a session IPA from
And it's definitely
from
not
the
a
Galway
barrel-aged
Bay.
stout.
Oh.
But it's not open. And he goes, "Oh, I should have opened. Do you need me to open that?" And he kind of walks down the bar.
And can I ask, is this a barrel-aged stout?
And he puts his hand out.
Sorry?
He puts his hand out towards you.
Okay.
For the beer.
If I need, I need to see the beer to answer your.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sure.
No, this is a session IPA.
You don't have a stout, do you? No, actually, can I say? Oh, that is Huck's favorite. He loves session IPA. You have a stout as well, do you?
Hi, yeah, great. I love a beer.
Do you need
Hello there.
You can just crack that off the. Actually, you know what? Don't do that. That's what people used to do. My job is actually to protect it. Don't crack the table. I'm here
Is he
just to.
telling me to crack it off the table?
No. He's saying he's saying don't crack it off the table. It's very precious. Yes.
Do you need me
He
to?
said that's a session IPA. So
I'm my favorite.
I'm just gonna ask for a stout as well. Should I tell him why?
Sure, he seems friendly.
Should you? Well, will he give it to you without you telling him why?
Well, what did he reply to the
It was gonna
stout
be
question?
I presume you guys are speaking in common.
We're
Yeah,
each other.
does he
Common,
seem
yeah.
to
Before
respond to
I-
the common?
I did say the stout thing before about the Huck. Did he respond to that?
Stouts. Look, I'm not the bartender. There's stuff you want to have a look.
Oh, I'd love to.
As long as you don't break anything, it's my job to make sure this place stays safe.
Is there anyone else here?
What? Who else do you need?
No, I was just wondering. So
Got
we're
it.
not. We wouldn't be disturbing anyone.
We haven't really had any customers in. Well, I guess since it became a little bit more difficult to get to. Given the.
Sure.
Not a lot of people want
We
to
just
dry off. when
wring
they-
out some of our clothes. there.
I
Yeah.
can't understand why.
Yeah.
As they're conversating, I'm gonna try and catch Iggy's eye and point to my axe and be like,
No. I'm just gonna.
I'm staying hidden.
I'm
But
gonna
I'm
open my
gonna,
bottle by using prestidigitation and clicking my fingers. Yeah.
Just take a
Counts as
swig.
rudimentary magic trick, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go towards the back where I had seen. I don't know if it's probably not still glowing, but that was where the magic was. And so I'm gonna go. That's where he said to look for the bottles there.
Yeah, he's giving you kind of free range.
Okay,
Just
cool.
look
So I'm
around,
just
as long
gonna
as
say
you don't
that.
break
Like,
anything.
he says we can look for a stout back here, and that is where I saw it glow of magic.
Okay.
We don't usually. I don't know if you've been to many bars. I haven't. This is my first. But I think I'm meant to take money. But I think money is used to buy other things, and I just don't need anything. So if you want to give me something I could use.
What did he say, Iggy?
Oh, sorry. He says he doesn't have much use for money, but he does know he needs to exchange something. And do we have anything that he might use? Did you definitely-
Friendship.
That
In trade.
if only we had the music box.
Son of a
bitch.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That would have been lovely. Yeah. He would have loved that.
I mean, what's his favorite song gonna be? Like creaking wood.
On my own. Something sort of lonely.
Trees
Nah.
You've got a
company.
friend. You've got a friend in Tree.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, he has a lot of favorite songs. It's more of a now. That's what I call music for trees kind of album.
So
Wow, that's what I call music.
Are you okay there?
Guess
I
who's
have
bark
liquid in my
again?
I'm gonna say to him, oh,
Who's his
absolutely,
favorite band?
we'll
Ash. Damn it.
No, not even. No one's favorite
No.
band.
Everyone,
Kate Bush.
if everyone's looking, everyone make an investigation check.
We're looking in the back room.
You're just looking all over the place, I guess.
Well, I direct them to the back
I'm-
room. But
I'm
yeah, I guess
still-
around. Yeah.
Oh, natural 20.
Nice.
I'm still very much trying to stay hidden in case things go south, so I'm not investigating.
You're not gonna look?
No, no, I'm trying. I don't want this. I mean, does he seem to have picked up on where I am? I'm very much trying to like hide in the shadows away from him in
You're
case
a
things go
giant.
wrong.
Make a perception
In a
check.
tiny house.
Sorry, make a
natural
stealth.
20.
Sorry, make a stealth check. Natural 20.
Also,
We'll use the same roll. Yeah.
I got a 3.
which makes it a 24.
Cool. He's not paying any attention to you, so who knows?
Cool.
You got a 3.
A 3 at looking for things.
Cool.
I got a natural 20. I don't
I'm
know
just
what
looking at the bear that he already had. The one that I already know is
found
not
it.
the one we need.
I'm drinking that beer.
Oh, are you drinking it?
Yeah, sure.
It's like totally skunked. It's so
I'm gonna
horrible.
have noticed that.
Like it's one of the foulest tasting things. This IPA has not aged well.
Can you
in order to
prestidigitate?
yeah, well, I could actually. Yeah, in order not to offend them, I'm gonna prestidigitate. It would taste nicer.
And so
not
natural 20.
drink very much.
Quit
of
this
that.
adventuring lifestyle and open a brewery.
It'll only be for me to taste something briefly as nice, but yeah.
This is where Ben should have the brown bag beer to hand you. Oh, you drank it? Now you have to drink this.
Drink
Oh
this
no,
skunked
Oh,
IPA.
mystery beer.
Yeah. Sorry. So natural 20. Reen?
4.
4.
3.
3. And no looking at all. Huck, what you find is
Items.
up to you
Oh,
from this
Yes.
deck of silly things.
the deck of silly things.
The deck.
Oh, what a
Went
bad
so
time
well
to
the last
roll so
time. This is great.
badly.
And I was like, why did I use my 20 on finding things?
Here you go. Anything you want.
From this carefully
And
curated selection
tell
of
me,
unbroken
if-
things.
when you know what it is, if you are going to reveal it to other people, just make up a little story as why this is in the tavern.
Okay, well, there's a bit of reading here. Should I tell you what it is?
So you read, and I'll tell the guys what they've found.
Okay.
Reen, you find it like a really lovely looking axe.
Oh, nice.
It's half just made of like this gnarled mahogany wood with sort of veins of gold dripping through it. It's as if like the wood is bleeding gold, as like glorious orbs of sap. And on the blade is like these sort of interesting concentric circles, just sort of making their way out. It's like just a one-handed axe.
Cool.
Iggy, you find a clay pot.
Sweet. I'm gonna write that down before I forget. Clay pot. I'm gonna even draw a little picture.
If only you had gotten one more. His ornate majesty.
The clay pot. Is there anything on the clay pot?
No. But in general, all of you.
An apology note.
Yeah.
Sorry you found the shit one.
Try again.
But you do find this barrel-aged stout.
Nice.
So,
Props.
Trip in the woods.
Trip in the woods.
That is
from
beautiful.
Sierra Nevada.
That is
Huge
beautiful.
Of a beer.
It's a chocolate chipotle stout, blessed by the goddess of Andra.
The label is beautiful on that thing.
To talk about beer for a second,
No. Come on. What are you?
that is absolutely delicious, and they do
Really?
different varieties
Yeah, there's a
on
range.
my podcast, the Final Countdown. We
Don't
had-
listen to no one go to it.
Stay here, don't you go. We made you, we can take it away.
we had a trip in the woods, which I think was honey based or something like that. They changed every 3 months. It's
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah, but what did you
delicious,
drink?
That's been
10.9%.
Oh, and
So
it's
it is like a bottle
Wait,
of wine. Like
If they change every 3
Very
months,
cool.
then like does stuff go out of stock? Like would it be hard to find the honey one?
yeah, it goes out of stock. You
So
can't find
been-
it.
if you
that's
find
been-
the honey one somewhere, could it be like crazy expensive?
bad
Yeah,
for
and it was
Yeah.
the first time we had it as
And
well.
yeah, they're pricey enough. Those bottles come in at around 20 something euro, 20ish. But they are you need to bring that back next week.
I drank the magic
me
item.
to
that
drink
we
it.
need.
Yeah.
Guess those people are
Yeah.
staying in the Dream Kingdom.
I'm away next session, so you are fucked. Yeah.
So
Every time we find a treasure trove, Iggy, you find a pot. You find another pot. You find nothing but pots because you drank my beer.
all the
I
way down.
fashion a chainmail out of pots, and I
Your
finally
clay
take
armor
on
shatters
Arlington the Bully.
immediately.
Yeah.
So you do find your barrel-aged stout.
Sweet.
Blessed by the goddess of Andra, in amongst some kind of other. What's interesting about it is that you're looking through the barrels and you're trying to find like there are stouts there, and as you kind of wander around, because you were investigating the statue earlier, and you kind of paid a little bit of attention to it. What you notice about this one specifically is that its label has a little fox running around it, and you're like, this of all the beers, it might be this.
This is the
one.
one that Fox is pointing to. Okay. Sweet.
Hence why even with the low investigation check, your previous actions have consequences.
So grope statues, people. Okay,
Yeah.
this
That's
is what we've learned. Yes.
So you have that's pretty much everything you find in the
Cool.
place.
Okay.
And this creature is like, so one axe, didn't know we served them. One stout, the skunked IPA, and what's the?
I found some glasses.
And I don't think there are. They might be a previous patrons. Where did they come from?
They're great. Wait, actually, you know what? I should tell you what they do. Wait, does he count as being a humanoid figure?
No.
That would make sense.
He's a medium plant.
Nah, I
His
mean,
next
he said he had
question.
arms and legs, but they were kind of like a
Yeah,
shield.
but
He's
he's
not
not
Pretend to
humanoid.
be a human. I
He's
mean,
not
he's
humanoid.
a plant. He should do what we want, you know?
Cool. Well, then to describe what I'm seeing right now, having worn the glasses,
Yep.
is he looks fine, but now everyone else appears to be naked except for down to their underwear.
I'm not wearing any, so
Yeah, that's actually
So it's
fine.
like the first time in the
Are you
last 2
classified
days.
as a humanoid?
yeah.
Okay, fine.
I
Well,
thought
then
you were
that's
goblinoid.
So
It'd be
because he's
humanoid
not wearing
with
underwear, you
arms,
do
legs, and head.
see his clothes.
that's actually
Man
no.
has arms, legs, and
That's actually fine because it doesn't
Oh,
actually
yeah,
show me
yeah,
their
it's a
real
goblinoid.
underwear.
Maybe
It
you're
just
right.
shows me them what they would look like in underwear.
Oh, okay.
So it just projects illusionary.
Yeah,
projects
so it's
underwear.
completely. It's yeah. So I see through
But
everyone's
you're-
clothes.
Yeah, so I'm goblinoid. I'm not considered humanoid.
So you know.
Well, then you're just furry
Yeah.
or whatever, normal.
But you've already seen his.
yeah.
You know,
Whoa.
So are you going to
Several.
tell us
Or
what
have
you're?
I?
Are you going to tell us what you're seeing?
I'm gonna blush.
I'm going to say. Those look
mostly-
lovely on you, Huck. Those look great.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to be staring.
Those look
at,
look great on you. Oh, can I see them?
no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Does it give you anything?
Yeah. Well.
Interaction.
It makes me have a disadvantage on perception checks. It's not great.
No.
No.
Dicks
Dicks
at all.
everywhere. I can't see.
But while
Because you're
I'm
just so
wearing
distracted.
it, if something humanoid tries to scare me, I won't be scared by it because it'll be in its underwear.
Right.
Okay. While I'm wearing it, if anyone tries to intimidate me, I won't be intimidated by them if they're humanoid.
Oh, it just nullifies intimidation.
It nullifies intimidation and fright.
I assume you're better at public
presuming
speaking.
the person who's trying to. And then the last thing is you're spot on. If I do any performance checks, I'm at an advantage with public speaking because I can see everyone in their underwear.
That's
Amazing.
So they
Very
are
good.
the
Hilarious.
spectacles of undergarment illusion,
Wow.
and it's
That's great.
great. I really wasn't
The
expecting.
public speaking
Yeah.
thing is actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's handy. I mean, it's
Now
like
we
make them
have
on
to trust him to convince people.
I'm mad charisma. I'm a sorcerer.
I know on paper you're very good at it, but as
Yeah.
a person,
I want friends. It'll be good.
Yeah.
And now I can see what everyone looks like in their underwear.
Yeah.
you can,
Ah.
it helps
First step to
helps-
friendship.
Yeah, it helps your screening process of which friends are worth making.
But it's very important. It's not actually their underwear.
It's just fake underwear.
It's fake underwear.
While wearing these glasses around susceptible, you are distracted and a disadvantage on perception check. Yeah. Does not work on the emperors that have new clothes.
Okay.
He says that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Arlington's secretly an emperor who's naked, because he's basically naked, then I wouldn't have worked on him anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Does it like if you look down at yourself, what happens?
It doesn't say. I'm a humanoid, so I guess, but it's not my underwear.
I didn't put these on.
It's probably like regular underwear instead of the stockings
Yeah.
that I normally wear.
That's such a good point. Like if we were sponsored by some sort of underwear subscription company,
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what we're going for.
Everyone.
because
First.
we're gonna have
Yeah.
a lot of underwear pointing out. Like send us those undies.
Yeah.
Whose undies?
This simple illusion doesn't reflect the wearer's actual undergarments. That's what it says. Yeah.
Right. So that's everything you find in this tavern, in this sort of crossroads tavern. You've gotten your barrel-aged stout. You found some kind of nice, cool new items.
Certainly.
Why do you think these glasses are in the tavern?
Oh yeah, you told me to do that part. Yeah, well, I mean,
Oh yeah, humanoid brackets, goblin.
previous perverted patron. I don't know.
It's
I'd
like an open mic stand-up thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it
"Oh,
could
I'm
be
gonna try out
someone.
my new humor.
Yeah, you gotta like the idea that someone. Yeah, they had an open mic night. Someone brought their glasses in to help with themselves. They still ruined it because I mean, Advantage doesn't have that much in comedy.
They literally died on stage.
Yeah. They're on stage,
Skeleton with
and
the. You found them by a
I
comic
found them.
skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Brilliant.
I mean, I'd like to think that they thought it was going to help them, and they were promised in the back of an old D&D comic, and they saved up all the coupons and sent away for it, and then went and did their first open mic night, and
they slayed the knight, but they didn't perceive the dagger in the dark.
They weren't scared by the dagger. That was the problem.
Yeah.
They started coming at them they're like,
in
whatever.
underwear.
I'm not frightened or intimidated.
That was my weakness.
Yeah.
Daggers.
Yeah, I know. I'm seeing a weakness now. Well.
Cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
These
that's
are.
it.
Oh yeah. BJ Hypes did all of these. Yeah. So.
Yeah, this was a Christmas gift from the guys to me, and my gift to them is every once in a while we add some madness to the game on
so
top of the
cool.
already mad world. So the goose
Rian's
necklace that Rian was investigating earlier and seeing what did one of these guys.
Yeah.
So this guy wants
yeah,
payment.
he's like, I don't know, one big thing, three little things.
That sounds like our party, all right.
So astute he is. Yes. Can I? I just remembered when we were down in the
myself and chuckled.
when we were down in the tomb. I took some candles from the tomb of the Fae thing. So can I? I'm gonna take out two of them. Or no, I'm gonna ask him. Well, I don't know. I know money isn't useful to you, but I was wondering, have you seen these before?
Candles?
Damn it!
The answer is no. These are mystical.
He has speech. I mean, did you know if there
Well,
was
I just
a
thought
Sylvan,
that they wouldn't have fire down there.
Sylvan word for candle?
probably a bad
We're
idea
Like, well,
to
they
have
actually
fire.
don't have a Sylvan word for candle, so we can't know.
But would you like these to keep you company? What I'd like to do is carve into them. You can carve the faces of some people and then sit them at the bar and maybe speak to them.
Is she giving them candles?
So he takes two of your candles.
Yeah.
And goes.
And can I
Seems like a bad
prestidigitate so that they look really even better? You know?
Yeah, they look like whoa. They're like religious candles, but instead of religious figures, they're like pop culture icons. He's like, sweet. Yeah, people buy a lot of this on Etsy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they look nice. They're nice candles. How are they nicer? Like, what are you picturing? Scented candles.
Well, one of them, can I prestiditate that it's been carved into a face, which I think would be something that Iggy would be quite good at doing.
You can put a small mark on a thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
For just to freshen our memories, prestidigitation. What does it do?
Oh yes. What does it do?
It's not just like a catch-all spell.
That's a good way of saying.
That
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instantaneous harmless sensory effect, such as a shower sparks, puff of wind, odd odor. Yeah. Okay. I probably can't carve into something. Yeah. Never mind.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm
She
just
could
gonna.
make it, but he'd be able to tell after very quickly.
Well, the colors are just going to be really vibrant. They're very heavy. They seem like very weighted. So they smell great.
Okay.
Smell like lemon.
He doesn't have a sense of smell, but that's never going to stop him. You know, he's like, I could never light these because of, well, like.
Oh, cool.
We're not
That just ruins candles. And
Open-
then that gets rid of them. No, the carving is where the joy is with the
But I
candles.
might carve with them. So that's nice. This is a small item. Thank you.
It's fine.
So glad we didn't use fire to light our way.
I'm so glad I said hello there.
Does
You
anyone
guys
else
all
have
trying to
anything?
kill him.
We really need to get this stout out of here.
I'd like to try something. Okay? And that is,
Are you gonna
I'd
go-
like to try and sleight of hand a different bottle from behind the bar.
Okay.
Okay?
Of the stout or of just any bottle?
Something that looks high value,
Okay.
but small enough.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's not gonna work.
You clearly had such a plan as well.
Yeah, that sleight of hand is. Oh, actually, 13.
13.
The lucky number.
He goes, so the stout, the glasses, the axe, that bottle you're reaching for.
You got me. I don't know what to say. I don't know how I understood you. Nope, I didn't hear this. So I continue reaching for it.
So 1 big item,
Oh yes. So
3 more little items if we're going for that bottle.
Okay. So he needs more things. He needs more little items. Was it?
Well,
But you still think
Something
you
of
still think you haven't been spotted. So you're like,
value.
Yeah. No. He.
I'd
Yes.
like to
Yeah.
say in common to the guys, okay, if he can't take money, do you think that gems would have any use to him?
But gems are a bit more valuable than money.
Yes, good shout.
What, can I ask? Sorry, what was your name?
What's
Sylvan.
someone
I
drinking here?
never named him. Larkin.
Son of the Sea?
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
I like Siren.
Siren?
Oh, Siren's
Larkin's
nice.
Larkin.
Larkin sounds like barking.
You could go
Larkin,
with
yeah.
Boundary.
Larkin of the Barkins.
Yeah, I like Larkin.
Yeah, I like
Larkin
yeah,
Barkin.
Larkin.
And he goes, Larkin, named after the larks that used to live in the trees I'm from.
Not after the
lovely.
bar covering. I'm not there. Or I am there. And I'm quietly hiding.
And can I ask you what is it that you would like? I mean, if we're trying to think of something to give you a good trade, what sort of things do you like, or what would have value to you? Can I ask it very explicitly?
Yeah.
What is the answer?
Here's some mud.
I like animals. I like
Coloring in.
I like shiny things. Mm-hmm. I have a club. 2 clubs would be nice.
I'd like to. Okay.
I like
He's not done.
company. I like sunlight. Can you bring me sunlight?
I'm gonna cover my shield even though I'm hiding.
I
Do you
like
want to-
birds.
Will we try?
Oh, sorry.
I like
Can I
the
tell them?
sky.
I'm translating all of those things to the
I
guys.
like the smell of fresh air.
I think maybe he wants to escape.
I like this place.
Damn it!
Oh my god, do you know what he needs?
I have
we
an
need to
idea.
bring it up.
Do you know he needs a hole in the roof?
Oh.
He needs
Totally
that like a
does.
hole in the roof.
Oh, yeah.
He needs. I had another idea.
I like
I-
frogs.
We could
I like
clean
myself.
the place using prestidigitation. We can
I like
do
that.
that a lot and clean the whole place for him. Make it all look spick and span. Nice shrine, doing his job.
Can I ask him if he'd like that?
I need to check that I can do that, but yeah.
A nice smell.
Would you? Would
Yeah,
not
it's not
smell. I
nice
know
for
you
an
don't
hour.
smell, but would you like us to clean up in here? Would that be any use to you?
Well, I like it the way like.
Would you like us to make a hole in this roof so that you can see the sky? Okay, I actually think he does want the hole. So yeah.
That would be pretty big.
Yeah.
I might owe you then.
Oh, I'll just take a few more of these.
One hole coming up. No, I shouldn't do that.
So we can't firebolt it. We can.
Oh, I mean, like...
This
I
seems
can-
like a solution that only the axe can solve.
Did someone say axe?
Ah!
Hello, yes.
He's gonna be terrified of you.
I'm glad I found you. So glad I found you. I was looking for my friends.
He doesn't look like he likes you.
Don't worry. He's a very, very kind friend of ours. He means no harm. He won't do you any harm.
He creeps over to you and goes, "He's very big,
Yes.
very wet,
Well, yes.
and he's holding an axe."
I like wave with the axe.
Hello there.
I'm nodding to say that I am
I'm just trying to
listening
do
and
my
I
best
hear
Hulk
you.
impression and be as friendly as I can.
Hello there.
Can you tell him to put the axe
Hello
away?
there.
Yes. Could you careful with the axe? He
I
does
don't
not like
like
the axe. He
axes.
does not like the axe. No. Don't worry. And
Right.
Wait, put this axe away.
Wait, that's your axe. That's the axe where yes. throw
What's he
that-
saying?
oh yeah, that's fine with that axe.
Yes.
Uh,
We all
No,
have
no,
axes.
none of the axes. None of the
Oh, I see.
axes.
So he likes the axes. Oh,
Arlington, if you could just maybe start working on the roof, that would be great. I think.
Working on the
I
roof.
don't have an axe.
Get a hole in that roof.
You
Right.
guys have a spare axe?
I'm gonna
he
click
scurried up the bar and grabbed his club.
Ooh.
And, like,
No, you're,
and
Well,
you're
I-
scared.
His
Our
sort
new
of
friend.
shield's hand is out, being like, "You said you were friends."
Yeah, and I'm gonna come after it and I'm gonna be
Get
strong.
behind
I'm
me,
strong
Iggy.
as
He's
I'm
gotten
not-
violent.
Touching him.
Don't be silly. He is just.
What's your AC?
Convince
My
them to
AC is
put the-
13.
Okay.
Oh god.
We talked our way into a fight.
After I talked us out
We're
of a
trying to
fight,
give the
you
man a
guys-
skylight. Come on.
Where is this? Oh, there we are. 7. Okay. Yeah. You take. For whatever reason-
50 damage.
Friendship.
Does anyone have any D4s for whatever reason?
How many
Yeah, I
friendship
do,
points
yeah.
I
How many?
get?
I need quite a few.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
Here's an extra one.
I need 4 of them.
You should have
Yeah,
I'll just do the
I have
shots.
Shouldn't have
somewhere,
touched
yeah.
I don't carry
No,
D4s.
that's probably what happened, but yeah.
I've got so many D6.
It's their fault.
Holy shit! Just rolled 4 1s in a row.
Nice.
So you take 8 damage. I'll give these back.
From what?
As he bonks you
What
on the
happens
head with
when I
his
go
club.
over to
yeah. So he
Tim?
goes.
Oh, I'm immediately going for this guy.
Okay. Oh,
No,
Jesus Christ. No, well, I'm,
No,
so
can
I'm dazed by saying, no, we are friends. We are friends. We are
wait.
friends. He's just trying to help. He's totally trustworthy.
Iggy, what are you saying to the tree?
He's just afraid that you're going to cut him with that axe. That's
I'm going
all.
to cut him with the axe.
You're not going to. You're going to work on that ceiling. Get back to work.
He just hit you on the head with a club. He's hissing and whirring
Yeah,
and
and
making...
it really, really, really
Hey,
hurts.
but you have wanted to hit Iggy in the head with a club before.
Let he who is without
How does he
want to
respond?
hit you in the head with a club.
What you see happen is you see him sink into the ground.
Okay.
He's escaping.
That's fine.
Hold on, calm down. Wait, we don't know what he wants.
Let's.
He hit...
Arlington, behind your shin, you just feel like a.
Oh, fuck.
But you turn around and he's missed with his club.
I'm going to cut this motherfucker down.
Wait.
God damn it.
Iggy, is there any way you can talk this tree down?
I am. Can I see him as he moved? He's now over
Yeah,
behind.
he just sunk into the ground and then reappeared over by Arlington.
Okay.
Through this sort of like bark material.
I'd
and
like
he-
to draw my sword as well.
Is it? Can I try persuasion him?
Yeah.
Can
You
I?
roll a persuasion check and let me know what you say.
14. So I got 19, and I'm going to go over, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to point at him and say, look, no, he's a gentle giant, just like you. People are probably afraid of you as well when they come in here, and he's not like that. You shouldn't be afraid of him. You can trust him.
I'm going to lower the axe, but I'm still not
Yeah, I'm, like,
letting it
waving at
go.
you to do that.
Lowering it.
Yeah. He doesn't speak your language, and he doesn't know what's happening either.
He's an idiot.
I don't like him. What's he saying?
But he doesn't understand what we're saying. He's trying to
He
help.
dips into the ground again and comes back up beside you. And he
Okay.
goes, trade fairly, and we can just let this be.
What's he saying?
What's he saying?
He says if we trade fairly, he will let this be.
Hole in the roof for sunlight.
Is it okay that we use the axe to make the hole?
Be gentle.
We
I
will.
like the roof,
Okay.
but I admit it's the only way.
Okay.
to-
Well, we are going to be wielding the axe in order to make this. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to wait in the back if you don't want to
Yes.
see it? Okay. And can I walk with him into the back?
Yeah.
Okay. And I say, make the hole, make the hole.
Oh, okay. I'm going to look at you. He was like, keep an eye on him.
Will do.
Need someone with a bit more skepticism
Hey,
to hold it.
Would you perhaps make the hole better if you were enlarged?
I don't... Is there space for that in here?
You stop enlarging. You
He
stop
just-
enlarging at the space
Uh,
that you're in.
I
Unfortunately,
might lose a bit of precision when
have an advantage on strength.
that shouldn't be a problem.
If it helps, I'm curious how you're gonna make this hole.
Because you can't reach it.
How high up is it?
It's like 20 foot, 25. Like it's a.
I think I'll
No,
enlarge
it'd be,
you.
no,
20
no,
foot?
it'd be shorter than that. Like this roof's what, like 10 feet up in the air?
Yeah,
It's
10
15 foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 5
Oh,
foot
I thought
reach
it was-
with my long limbed.
How high do
And
you think the
you're
roof
about
is on chat?
8 foot tall?
Yeah. I am.
So that 13. If
7
you stood in the
foot
bar, yeah, if you stood in the bar, you could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get a stool on the bar as well.
So all the
Yeah.
cameras are facing this way.
Yeah, make an attack roll against the roof.
Okay.
Attack roll against
to-
the roof.
Backseat DM here. That sounds like an acrobatics check as well.
In fairness, I have mentioned how slick everything is. in here.
Am I enlarging
yeah.
him as we decided?
I mean, if you want to.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna reach it.
Oh, can I? I
I'm
can
trying to help.
What are you using to do it? I can make
I-
you strong.
You're-
I'm
in a
going,
different room.
I am going
Oh, yeah, never mind.
to
Sorry.
recklessly attack the roof,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
gaining
in a
advantage on the roll, and
Yeah.
thereby winning the day.
Oh. Beer everywhere.
Oh no.
Missed the precious.
Yeah, but I missed all of the electronics. That's
Go. We're good. You make that roll.
You'd think we'd be more prepared for that potential worry in a beer podcast. or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with advantage.
Yeah.
Yes. What's my modifier? That's a 20 for the first one,
Cool.
Sacrifice the flannel.
and 16, so
What
20.
doesn't matter.
20. Lovely. Before that happens, roll an acrobatics check with disadvantage.
I'm sorry,
Thank
but
you,
I'm also
God.
not sorry.
Acrobatics. That is a 7.
With disadvantage?
Oh, sorry, disadvantage.
It's not going to get any better.
You put all your might and effort into it, and it is a mighty swing.
Bear in
Right.
mind he
Under-
practiced
under.
backflips, not the other day.
Yeah,
A lot.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
doing,
it's a slick bar.
Yeah.
He's not Coyote Uglying this thing. He's never stood up in a bar this wild before.
I'm trying to reassure myself. Can't fight the moon.
And you tumble off the bar, taking 2 damage just as you kind of fall and hit the floor.
That's fine.
Does he make
It was
the hole?
it was reachable, and you do make a cut in the roof, but not a hole.
Okay, Huck, I think I need you to make me big so I can reach this thing.
Great. Rub-a-dub-dub.
Gets weirder.
Enlarge
and
the grub. I don't know what to call you. So yeah, I've done that. Enlarged.
Yeah, and you're now enlarged.
So yeah, it'll stop him kind of once he hits the
Yeah.
the size of the place. He has to stop there.
That's 15.
Otherwise, you'll double in size. So
So it'll stop before.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm double in size, and my powerful build means I'm one size larger for carrying, pushing, dragging, or lifting. I don't know if that affects this really.
yeah,
So,
you,
so what happens
ooh,
is
you weigh
um,
eight times as much though.
8 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your weight's multiplied by 8. Well, your size is doubled and your weight's multiplied by 8. When it stops you, I don't know.
Okay.
Presumably, if it stops you short.
Creaky floorboards that Rian almost fell
Yeah,
through.
I didn't think about.
Neither did I.
That, yeah, but sure.
Okay.
That's a lot of information, but 2 things happen at once.
Yeah.
One, Arlington starts to grow and grow and grow, and before you reach the rooftop itself, you do collapse into the floorboards below, taking. You take 4 piercing damage as you get kind of splintered.
Okay.
Now that you're lower on the ground, you keep enlarging, and through and there's kind of water spilling in underneath your feet. Just kind of, it's not like rushing in; it's just sort of bog water, just fills in the space, and you keep going up. And Huck has assured you will stop growing the moment you meet resistance, which you don't meet, given the slit you've made in the roof, and your head just kind
Well,
of.
it's still capped at double my size, right?
Yeah, but you don't go. You're 7 foot.
Yeah.
14?
7 foot 2.
7'2", so 14'4".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. So your head doesn't poke through the top of this roof. It would have
So
been,
it's not.
We were going for an
hilarious.
Alice in Wonderland
So it's
situation.
not hilarious.
Fun.
Yeah.
but
You and your
you still take
rules,
the damage.
I mean, I'm okay with my head poking through the roof. That's pretty great. Arms and legs.
Alison Wonderland
Yeah, that's
style.
exactly what
Yeah.
I'm picturing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this small little guy coming back to his house, being like, "Whoa!" What does he call her? I don't know, Susan or something.
remember.
Anyway.
Okay, so does my head poke out, or am I just like...
Yeah, let's just say, even though rules is written, we'd say your head didn't poke out, it pokes out. and
Wild
you make-
magic.
Yeah, wild magic.
Oh yeah,
Just-
I haven't actually.
Ba-bum.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you need to roll
Yeah.
that.
so you
Ooh,
pop
I could
out
set fire to
through.
the whole house.
Oh.
Okay, it's not. Yeah, it's fine.
No. Okay. So
So you pop through, making a hole in the roof. Iggy, what you hear from the back room is just a lot of commotion.
Okay. And I just pretend to laugh, like, to try and hide. Yeah, it's so funny.
Good news, I don't need the axe.
Can I
Oh,
break
great.
concentration once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sink right back down to your regular
Sure.
size.
do I fall through the floorboards then?
No, not really. It's less weight in it.
Okay.
Oh, that was definitely one of the less pleasant experiences I've ever had.
That went perfectly according to plan.
Can I poke my head out to see and then
Yeah, there's a hole in the
lead
roof.
him out?
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Your extension has been built. Here, extension. Enjoy.
Conservatory.
And the sun is, and it, like, it
Skylight.
lights up
Skylight,
this room.
Yeah.
Because it is coming up to midday. You set off in the morning, and it didn't take you too long to get here. It's now coming up to noon, so the sun's right overhead. It's beaming in. It's like spilling light through this tavern, which now that you see it like with actual light bathing it, there's sort of this nice like spilling of like warmth. The air all kind of goes out this hole. Doesn't
So
smell as
outside
bad.
just looks like the house farted.
Yeah.
Doesn't smell as bad anymore.
Always
And it's like, it looks like a nice bar, like minus the dank.
Oh, but that
Oh,
dang.
Yeah.
Dank.
You need dank.
So that's all good. And he looks up and goes, "Wow, that's I like it. I mean, it's not based on the plans, but when you get plans to the house and then they do it, it's never really exactly as, you know."
But you like it. This is it.
Yeah. And then he looks down and goes,
We made you a basement too.
A plunge pool.
This is extra storage.
"Make just
Well, you can't understand what I'm
You can't
saying.
understand us. You don't
I
understand
said-
her.
deception check."
That
Christ, your charisma best.
12.
Does he like it?
This place was falling apart anyway. It will grow back together.
Oh, excellent.
That's how wood works. You've seen trees before, right?
Yes.
That's how they work. When you break them, they grow back together.
I'm assuming everything's cool since
Yes.
he's not hitting us.
I'm
So I'm going to
concerned
say,
how much.
I'm going to let you enjoy your newfound view and vista.
I'm worried how much Iggy is talking, to be honest with you. Should we make her escape?
Hello there.
And I'll say, no, we're going. So I'm going to say goodbye.
He props himself back up on the counter and kind of goes, "Ugh. Oh no, how am I going to sleep during the day?"
And we're just going to scurry, right? Just gonna, like, yes,
And
cool,
you guys,
bye, see ya. Bye.
Make your way out. Back through.
Just relieving. Like, did you get a new axe?
Back through the tunnel you came from, and you pop back up in the bog, and I think that's where we'll pick up next time. Right? Yeah.
We have our items.
You have all your
Yeah.
items. So what comes next is putting them all together and taking a swig of this beer. I thought it might be nice to actually drink it when we drink our potions. That could be a nice little thing to do.
Oh, that sounds excellent.
As a forewarning for viewers, actually myself and Lucy are away next time we stream, so there's going to be like a super cool one shot with the rest of the guys. Maybe some special guests, maybe not. We'll see what happens. We'll keep that under wraps. I should hopefully be there and chat, so I'll be able to enjoy the adventure with you guys. Until then, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed that adventure. It was an encounterless adventure, but plenty of DM tip to little DMs out there. Not all experience earning opportunities have to be battles.
That very nearly was, though.
We nearly turned
That
it.
was kind of a
damned it.
learning for us that we didn't kill him. Right?
We're growing.
So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time right here. If you want to catch up on any episodes you haven't seen yet, they're all on YouTube. You'll catch the entire back catalogue as well as some clips we've put together if you just want to kind of jump right into sort of an entertaining, funny moment. And I mean, it's all entertaining and funny. So, yeah.
And this episode will be live on YouTube as of Saturday.
Yes.
It goes live on Twitch on Tuesday and then video on demand on the Saturday.
Which is, in terms of a date, the 7th of September. So until then, have a wonderful time and be sound to one another. Take care.
Bye.
Launch it.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.